Ironclad run. Was the meal ticket rough? I don't know. Meal ticket's really good. Boy, Curse for 14 max HP is not very appealing. You think? I don't know. And it's that seems like a really dumb idea. 3 potions is weak. Choose a card is weak. Maybe we do a swap. Maybe it's choose a card. I mean, even if there is a shop, using a shop just to remove a curse is not amazing. Probably want to be on this line. A couple extra fires, 3 elites, late shop. It's got it all. We could even do 2 extra fights before the shop and take an absolute end game shop. 7 HP is way more than a waffle. Waffle's only, or 14 max HP is way more than a waffle. Waffle's only 7. The thing about waffle is it also restores you to full health. Maybe you're thinking about mango. 14 health is a mango. It's an expensive mango. Taking a curse is pretty expensive. I think I'm just going to take a card reward. Card reward helps us increment our rare count. And Ironclad rare cards are insane. They're all really good. Yeah, it's random. So the way that I think about the curses is that 2 of them are like obvious high rolls, and then there's 3 of them that are like not that bad, and then there's 3 of them that are like pretty bad. So there's 10 curses total. So it's like not guaranteed to be like a super bad thing, but it is random. All right, let's take a card reward. Entrench on floor 0. I think Flame Barrier is probably what we want. Alright, I guess we're sentry hunting. I think I still like... Wait, what happened to that path I was looking at? Oh, it's this path. This is a 4 elite path if we want it. That's pretty incredible. Okay, alright, so we go here, and then there's question marks, and then start doing elites. Okay, great. Flame Barrier is not the best elite fighting tool in the world. It's pretty good against sentries, and decent against Lagavulin. Pretty bad against Nob, obviously. No lethal. Fast strike is 17, a little bit short. There's a strike here, so we're pretty likely to draw 3 strikes next turn, so I think we'll just take 6 and try and save some health. Yeah. Not a great cultist fight, but not terrible. We still have our starting relics, so it doesn't really cost anything. It costs us 1 health. Combust to like really, really go for those sentry kills. Our boss is Guardian, so Combust is decent against him. Combust does also give us an on-ramp into Rupture. Rupture is quite a bit better now than it used to be. 7 damage per turn is quite a bit. Combust fights with an eventual fossilized helix. Fights with puzzle too. The puzzle interaction is not what you would hope. It's that you draw 3 cards and then immediately throw them away at the end of the turn. All good options. Could take an Iron Wave. Could take a Pommel Strike. Pommel Strike's a little bit weak on 3 energy. I think I'll take a Combust. Combust is pretty exciting. Flame Barrier blocks out. I guess I will split the one with the most armor. Kill you, split you, block for some. Take one. And hopefully heal for 4 on the fight. Indeed. Could be picking our second entrench right now. Headbutt is an attack. There's nothing in the deck that particularly wants to be headbutted, but maybe we'll find something. Certainly better than Clash. I'm never taking entrench here. Okay, headbutt it is. I guess I'll headbutt a flame barrier back, sure. Ouch. Alright, we're taking 7. Hopefully we can get lethal next turn. He is shields down. We do get lethal, but we have to take 1 to get it. That's fine. Happy to do it. Does it feel no pain? Evolve and is Seeing Red. A lot of later in the game combo pieces here. Feel no pain lets us increasingly target sentries. Just every card we take is going to be for just dunking on sentries. Flame Barrier, Combust, Feel no pain. So good in the sentry fight. I guess Evolve also targets sentries. Seems like we're just targeting sentries no matter what. I think Evolve and Feel no pain are both reasonable choices. I quite like Feel no pain. It's probably a Feel no pain curse for most of Act 1. I think we can carry a curse here. An early surprise shop, okay. Ooh, Impervious is on sale. Wow. Take a second Combust. Pretty hard to turn down the Impervious, though. So it's kind of like Impervious and what? All the potions are too expensive. We can't buy a potion. That's surprising. Could buy Carnage instead of Impervious. Could buy Impervious and Wild Strike. Could do Card Remove instead of Impervious. Yeah, I definitely don't hate Carnage. Carnage is quite good. But we have to do, we're probably doing 4 elite fights, and Impervious is like one of the only cards in the game that you can use to like actually block Gremlin Nob in a useful way, which is pretty insane. We are missing Pocket Watch and Frozen Eye for the run. That's too bad. Apotheosis is also being missed, although we can pick that up later. O Memoriam. Not shedding any tears over. Right, I think we just take the Impervious. Doink. Wild Strike? Actually, yeah, I think Wild Strike. We don't have much damage. Thanks, Action Johnson. Sure. Okay, not really feeling this late shop anymore, but probably we weren't going to go there anyway, so we're going to go fight an elite. Seems fine. Golden Idol is not quite free here. Does cost a little bit of health. I think that's fine. All right, Gremlin Nob's up first. I think we're just gonna hit him. Do we power pot for a demon form here? Demon form or inflame? Okay. Not what I was looking for. I guess I'll take a Combust. I guess Fire Breathing also pays off, right? Because there's actually a curse and there's going to be a status on the deck. So it'll do 12 damage by the time we shuffle, which is 2 more than Combust. And Combust hurts me. Log is definitely scary. I think this deck is definitely most scared of Gremlin Nob. Because we have like a flame barrier and an Impervious. Feel no pain. A lot of useless stuff against Gremlin Nob. He demands damage. No defend. Might have to hang out in this fight for a second, so. Bash Strike or Combust Double Strike? I like Combust Double Strike. But I like Bash Strike too. Bash Strike is 17 damage now, puts him down to 29. Do I ever get lethal from 29? Yes. We need like Headbutt 2 strikes. Wait, is Headbutt and 2 strikes lethal from 29? So Headbutt will do 13. The strikes will do 9. So it's 13 plus 18, 31. Yeah, it is lethal. Drawing 2 strikes is not super likely. Drawing Wild Strike would also do it. Just Wild Strike. Alright, we'll do Bash Strike. I think that's got more upside. Although, oh wait, hold on. Let's consider the Combust line. So Combust Double Strike does 12 plus 5, 17. So it does the same damage this turn. And it does guaranteed 5 damage next turn. So it's kind of like 22 damage if we're going for lethal next turn. 22 damage leaves him at 24. This does 9, puts him down to 15. It's a lot harder to put together 15 damage than it is to put together 12. So it's going to be Bash Strike. Okay. Alright, I guess it's going to be Impervious Headbutt. Because we don't have lethal, right? 13 plus 9 is not enough. Okay. Can get lethal next turn, not guaranteed. We got it. Great. Ginger is our reward. Okay. Intimidate's great. We've got to feel no pain. Intimidate, usually you don't want to pick in Act 1 because of Gremlin Knob, but then we just fought Gremlin Knob. We might fight Gremlin Knob again. In fact, the expected number of Gremlin Knobs that we will fight, if we're fighting all 3 of the remaining elite fights, is, what? 1, right? Because this one's 0%, this one's 50%, and then this one is, if we've already fought one, 0%, and if we haven't fought one, 50% again. So I guess it's slightly less than 1. It's like 0.825 or something. Searing Blow seems bad. Shrug seems okay. We have a lot of block cards. Flame Barrier, Impervious. Maybe a Shrug is a little bit too much. Kind of like having block cards, though. Intimidate's just kind of like a weaker Shockwave. But, like, Shockwave's really good. I would love a Shockwave here. Intimidate's kind of like if you have Dead Branch, you pick Intimidate. Because it's like, yeah, sure, I'll take 1 a week to everyone and then also generate a card. But if you don't have Dead Branch, it's kind of weak. But we're a 3 energy deck, so maybe we have some room in here for a 0-cost card. We got 2 2-cost cards. I guess 3 with Bash. Yeah, okay. Probably get another shot at a Feel No Pain. I think we're going to Smith here. We've got another Fire before the next Elite. I think we're unlikely to die from 42. Yeah, we're super defensive. Definitely. Combust, I think, gets the upgrade. We need to upgrade a damage card, obviously. Maybe it's Wild Strike. Wild Strike is a crazy upgrade. Yeah, I guess it should probably be Wild Strike, huh? Okay. Bash is okay. We have a 50% chance of fighting Lagavulin next, and against Lagavulin you want Bash minus, not Bash plus. Alright, here's the sentries. Hopefully we can eat them for lunch. I'm going to go ahead and Impervious, even though we're only taking 10 this turn. We have Feel No Pain, so we should be able to trivialize the fight by the time we get to the next shuffle. So there's not really any point in holding on to Impervious for the next shuffle. There's the Combust. So that wins the fight eventually, and then we just try to reduce the damage we take. Maybe we don't even need the combust in this fight. Maybe we just wait for Field No Pain to win it. Not even playing the Wild Strike. Feels bad. Couple of exhausted cards. Almost blocks out. You do take 1 damage. Maybe I should have targeted this guy. I guess we didn't have enough block. Alright, ending the fight, so we don't take any more damage to Combust. We do have Puzzle, so that's a really bad interaction, unfortunately. Combust Puzzle is a big no-bo. So we can't play Combust until we've triggered Puzzle. It's a huge bummer. Spot weakness would be some strength scaling. I don't really trust Spot Weakness. Spot Weakness has some serious problems. And Spot Weakness traps you, because you, when you pick a Spot Weakness, you feel like, okay, I have some strength scaling, right? I can rely on that. And then, like, turn 1 of the Heart Fight comes, and you draw a Spot Weakness, and you're like, oh no. Usually this works. Yep, Combust triggers at the end of turn, so we just draw 3 cards and then toss them. It's really bad. So we might need to pick like a Hemo or something so that we can trigger our puzzle on ourselves intentionally and then play Combust. I guess Hemo is way better than Spot Weakness for scaling, right? Or, sorry, Rupture is way better because we have Combust. It's like Gremlin Horn and Poison? Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, wait, no, because if you draw a card with Gremlin Horn, it's on their turn, so you'll still have that card during your turn. So it's much worse than Gremlin Horn and Poison. You do lose the energy, that's true, unless you have Ice Cream. But cards are important. Energy is also important. Uppercut's a great card. We don't have very many attack cards. Headbutt, Wild Strike. I'm happy to headbutt an uppercut. Let's just grab an uppercut. Easy. Paper Frog. Wow, that uppercut's looking a lot better now. Great. Do we dare upgrade the uppercut here? We're at 32. It's guaranteed to not be Sentries again, though, right? And we just like absolutely dominate Sentries. But we have a Blood Pot and a Flex Pot. I'm gonna go for it. Alright, it is Laga. Get this developed while he's down. This is going to be good once he wakes up. We do have other powers that we want to get developed too. Ideally we can like bash and then the following turn like uppercut Wild Strike or something. Alright, we don't really need to play Combust first cycle. We can just develop bash. Haha! Take that, Lagavulin. Do we flex bot this? No. It's so much damage. Jesus. That's like a Watcher wake up. Flame Barrier feels pretty nice, blocks out. And then what, like Wild Strike? Do we have Lethal here? Probably with Flexbot. Max damage is probably Wild Strike, Headbutt Strike. It's 29 plus 15 is 34? No, it's 44. Yeah, we definitely have Lethal. Okay, great. Regal Pillow. So it's a good thing we held on to that rest, because now we get to go to full health when we rest. Iron Wave's an option, but not a very good one. I think we're past the time when Iron Wave was a good pick. Clash is a no. Perfected Strike also a no. Okay. Looks like we're doing all 4 elites. No reason to go to a shop here. Probably just Impervious Strike. Might as well... Oh wait, what's the point of Intimidating? Guess I'll save it. I don't like this pair specifically. Jawworm Lice is like such an awkward combination, because you want to kill the Lice, or the Louse, or like the Louse, okay, he like steals an attack, right? Because you're like, I want to hit him so that he doesn't, or so that I like get his curl armor gone, right? His curl up armor. And it's like, okay, but then now he's at like 10, so I can kill him with 1 attack, so I should just kill him, right? But then you really want to be focusing all your damage on Jawworm, because he scales up, but then Jawworm also has like many times as much health as Louse, so it's really awkward. Does Intimidate defend? Is that good enough? He hits for 9, he hits for 6. It's 15, so we take 10 damage. Seems bad. Okay. I'll go ahead and strike the Louse. Uppercut Headbutt seems pretty good. Just go ahead and take the uppercut back. Get lethal with it next turn, hopefully. Haha, I can't be weakened. Take that, Louse. Uppercut does 22, not quite enough to kill Jawworm. Unless we flex pot. We could flex pot, uppercut probably kills him, right? Yeah, it does. And then strike would kill Louse too. That seems good. Hold on to the blood pot. We don't have any strength scaling cards, so we're not like particularly trying to hold on to the flex pot for anything. Oh. That didn't work. I'm going to defend instead. Maybe not even use the flex pot. How did I mess that up? Yep, sure enough, this... I guess I'm used to the strike dummy from the last run. Flexbot does still block for 12 here if we just flexbot uppercut. And the defend take 3. Okay. Sever Soul is like a poor man's second wind. We'd use that to proc our Feel No Pain. Clear all the defense and stuff out of the deck. Problem with that is it's really expensive. Sever Soul is a lot of energy for not that much effect. I guess 16 damage is quite a bit of damage, but... second Headbutt is like... if we had a limit break, maybe. But we don't, so I think we're skipping. Do we even rest here? We'd get more than... yeah, we don't even get full value out of it. It wants to heal us for 35. So we'd want to go to 69, which would be nice. We can't quite do it. We're max HP is 68. So I guess I'll take an upgrade. Probably Feel No Pain. Maybe Combust. Maybe Flame Barrier. A lot of good upgrades here. Go ahead and grab the Feel No Pain. Needs to get upgraded at some point. It is Gremlin Knob again. I'll go ahead and headbutt a strike, sure. Need to get that damage. Alright, he's proccing our puzzle. And he's weak. Be nice to have a flex spot here. Oh wait, maybe we have lethal without it. 29 plus 10 is 39, 49. Yep. Okay, great. Take that, silly knob. Reckless Charge is always something that I like a lot. I'm a big Reckless Charge fan. Got a Feel No Pain in the deck. And a Wild Strikes. Maybe like an Evolve is in the cards. Evolve Second Wind is pretty sweet. Need a lot of card draw to support a Reckless Charge. We do have an attack counting relic now, so taking 0-cost attacks makes a lot of sense if you've got the card draw to support it. Don't currently have any card draw. We were offered a Feel No Pain, or sorry, a Shrug It Off, but didn't take it. Ironclad's got some pretty sweet card draw. The one card that draws 4, and then you can't draw any more. Burning Pact. Battle Trance is the other one. Battle Trance and Burning Pact. Dark Embrace could work in the deck. Dark Embrace is kind of for later. The problem with Dark Embrace is it's just so expensive. But yeah, eventually this deck wants like Dark Embrace, Corruption, Dead Branch, Second Wind, that kind of stuff. Reckless Charge is not very good against Guardian, so maybe we shouldn't take it. I do love me some Reckless Charge, though. I wonder if you could do... I guess you could do like a Pyramid Loop with like Reckless Charge, Dark Embrace, and you'd need like Sundial and a Dark Embrace and a Second Wind. But you could do it. It'd be fun. It's quite a bit of setup. Evolve, Dark Embrace, clear out your deck. Two Reckless Charges I think you'd need. No, actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Reckless Charge and Second Wind. It's a fun one. It has to be an Evolve Plus, right? Or wait, no, because the Dark Embrace draws the other card. You could almost do it with just Reckless Charges and Dark Embrace, but then your hand gets full. I guess with like Dark Embrace, Medical Kit, and Evolve Plus, you could do it with just Reckless Charge. Reckless Charge would be the only card. You'd have a couple of relics and a relic and 2 powers available. Be a neat infinite. It's even block positive with Feel No Pain. Medical Kit is kind of magic. Alright, I'm gonna take it. I probably shouldn't take it. Gosh, I want to take it. That one Reckless would be all you need. Sure, yeah. I mean, you don't really need... If it's an infinite, you don't need any, like, shurikens or kunais or anything to pay it off. It'd be nice, but you don't need it. It's true. I don't think this deck is really dreaming about infinites, right? Like, we have a lot of cards. We still have all 5 original strikes and 4 defense, so... I'm sorry, what are people... Oh, Reckless Charge. Yeah, I probably should pick Reckless Charge. It is, like, one of my favorite cards. It's not good against Guardian. We don't really have card draw to support it. And we don't have Evolve. But we do have the Feel No Pain. I think I should skip it. So I'm going to skip it. It's really tough for me to skip it, but I'm going to do it. Alright, 34 should be enough to get through Guardian. So I guess we're just never using the Regal Pillow is the plan. I mean, we perfected the last elite, so what can you do? Or we didn't perfect it, but we took 6 and healed for 6, so. Net 0 damage. Gremlin Nub. Seems like we're probably pretty safe. Yeah, Combust is got a really good upgrade. Maybe Defend, honestly. Because Impervious exhausts, so that's only useful once, but Defend would be useful repeatedly. Intimidate, I could see. It seems like we've got enough defensive resource. We should probably just do Combust. Okay. Hey, Wild Strike Headbutt. Wait, do we want that many wounds this early? Yeah, we need to split him. We can't waste any time. Okay. Strike, Wild Strike does it. I guess Strike, Wild Strike, Combust also does it. Actually, just Strike, Wild Strike does it, which is insane. We don't want to play Combust yet, we still have Puzzle up. Feel no pain, Intimidate, Defend blocks out. Maybe locking out was not the goal there, because then we don't proc Puzzle. We could strike here, and then we would proc Puzzle. And we would take 2 damage. And then we'd get guaranteed Flame Barrier next turn. Flame Barrier is really good next turn. Okay. Probably Energy Pot, Uppercut, Strike, or something. Maybe not. Maybe just nothing. The problem with Energy Pot is I want to use both of the energies I get if I'm using it, right? And then Uppercut, obviously, but then I don't really want to play another Wild Strike. Having 3 wounds is a lot. We don't really have any way of dealing with them. Yeah, 10 damage is just not enough. Headbutt for Uppercut. Wish I had my Flame Barrier this turn. Be nice. And I'll go ahead and set up the... do I want this pen name on 8 or 9 for next turn? Because maybe, like, Uppercut Strike is what I want. No, I want to play Uppercut Combust, so I'm going to set it up on 9 to get it on the Uppercut. So that splits him. Okay. Kind of a weak turn. Wasted the weak. And I'll go ahead and uppercut. It actually is health neutral. He's hitting for 16, but he hits for 12 if you uppercut him. So 4 minus 4 is 1. Or 0. 4 minus 4 is 1. Might have to Blood Pot to survive this. Ooh, Flame Barrier is huge here. And we're closing in on lethal, so we'll go ahead and put another wound in the deck. Headbutt splits, so we might as well strike first. Oh wait, if we strike first, then we have to headbutt a strike. I don't really want to headbutt a strike. I guess I can defend and then strike and then headbutt. Yeah, and then headbutt back to defend. Kind of a weird line. Uppercut strike is not lethal. Flame Barrier Defend should be lethal, right? Nope, not quite. There we go. Alright, so we got to save the blood pot. Great. Second Impervious, Fiendfire, or Juggernaut. Wow. These are good. Juggernaut's probably the weakest one. Juggernaut's like very speculative at this point. Second Impervious is amazing. First Fiendfire would be amazing. We have a Feel No Pain, so Fiendfire can block for a ton. Works with the Dark Embrace thing. Feel No Pain, or Fiendfire is kind of like an impromptu second wind. It's like, just get rid of all the stuff that's in your hand. That's true. We do need a way of getting rid of wounds. By the time we get to the Act 2 boss fight, we need a better way than just a Fiendfire. We need like a second wind or something. But a Fiendfire can do it in a pinch. Maybe we pick a Fiendfire and then get like an Exhume or something. Fiendfire definitely opens up some infinites. But not really. Impervious is a hell of a card also. Deck's already got an Impervious, and it seems like it wants more. Just block them all every turn. I don't know, Combust isn't like that strong. We can't just like wait for Combust to kill everyone. That's kind of what Second Impervious is saying. It's like, don't worry about it, Combust and Wild Strike, they've got it. We do have quite a bit of damage. Uppercut, Wild Strike, Combust, Headbutt. Some good stuff. Maybe we can just pick an Impervious and wait. Fiendfire does so much damage. The problem with picking Impervious over Fiendfire is like both of them are expendable resources, but Fiendfire, like, Impervious blocks for the turn, and Fiendfire also blocks for the turn and does a bunch of damage, presuming that we've played Feel No Pain. So Fiendfire is tough to skip. Alright, let's pick the Fiendfire. I want the Juggernaut, but I can't have it. This deck wants a Corruption, obviously, so like picking a Snecko Eye and then getting Corruption. Sort of the classic Ironclad formula. We've got a couple of expensive cards, Uppercut, Fiendfire, Flame Barrier, Impervious, that all benefit from cost reductions. Intimidate's a bit of a bummer. Snecko Eye increases our access to Feel No Pain, increases our hand size for Fiendfire. That kind of stuff. Fusion Hammer would be nice. It'd be nice to go up to a 4 energy deck. Doesn't seem like we have a ton of ways to use it other than the aforementioned 2-cost cards. Could play 2 of those a turn. Or a 2 and 2 1s. We don't really have anything that super needs an upgrade. We got upgrades pretty aggressively in Act 1. So I wouldn't hate just resting in Act 2. We also have a Regal Pillow, so we're pretty incentivized to take risky routes and rest, which is what Fusion Hammer wants us to do. Fiendfire does want an upgrade. That's probably the biggest thing that would block. Empty Cage is not really an option here. Empty Cage is really just like, do you have a curse in your deck? Empty Cage is good for getting rid of those, but we don't have one of those. We could get rid of 2 strikes and then be closer to doing infinites, but we don't really have any engine for doing infinites, so not really any point in doing that. So this one is out. It's still better than Skip, but this is a really good pick, so they're all better than Skip. And Empty Cage is the worst one, so Skip and Empty Cage are eliminated between the Fusion Hammer and the Snecko Eye. I just feel like if we pick Snecko Eye, a lot of Act 2 hallway fights are going to be resolved by just like turn 1 Fiendfire, take 50. And that's really strong. It also helps ameliorate the damage the wounds do, because they can stack up in hand. It doesn't really matter that much because we're drawing 7 cards. It also helps when you're actually fighting Snecko to be ready for it. Do like Fusion Hammer, though. We'll probably find some Act 2 stuff that wants to be upgraded. Do these relics have any opinion on Snecko Eye versus Fusion Hammer? Yes, actually. Paper Frog wants us to pick Snecko Eye, because Paper Frog wants us to get a Shockwave Plus. And Fusion Hammer doesn't allow Shockwave Plus. Centennial Puzzle wants us to pick Fusion Hammer, because it says we already draw a bunch of cards. And drawing 10 cards in a turn is less useful than drawing 8. For like proportionately, right? If you have a 5-card hand, drawing 3 cards is more important than if you have a 7-card hand, drawing 3 cards, if that makes sense. Ginger doesn't care. Golden Idol doesn't care. Regal Pillow says pick Fusion Hammer, because we already want to rest at campsites. So we eliminate the other options. Pendib probably says Fusion Hammer. Pendib wants us to like play lots of cheap attacks and then a big attack like a Fiendfire or something. And picking lots of cheap attacks is not really something we can do with Snecko Eye. It's a pretty minor consideration though. I think it's going to be Snecko Eye. Alright. Collector. Got enough money that we can go to a shop. Look at all these question marks. We go to 4 question marks. Question marks good. Get bites. Not so sure about apparitions. Probably don't want apparitions. Ancient writing would be bonkers. Upgrade all the strikes and defense. Would love that. I think we're probably yes on bites. But not as strongly. I like this little segment. That puts us on a 2 elite path. Second one optional. There's a couple fires over here too. That also appears to be a 2 elite path. Are there any 3 elite paths? There is. This one, and that one. There are no extra fires on that path, so that seems dangerous. Yeah, so it looks like 2 elites and a bunch of question marks is kind of our best path here, so probably doing this path, grabbing some fires, and then doing some more question marks. These could be thwack, that's kind of our 3rd elite. Looters heard we've got a bunch of money, they've come to take it. Impervious Fiendfire seems good. I guess we could Wild Strike for 0. Adds 10 damage. This is always happening. Fiendfire currently hits for 5 times 7, that's 35. So we go up to 45 with the Wild Strike. It's not crossing any, like, major breakpoints, but we need to be really fast in this fight, so I'll go ahead and do that. Rats. Damn you, Snecko. Alright. We're just proccing our puzzle. That's why we're doing it. Unfortunately, the one we haven't damaged is the one who's trying to leave. Combust kills both, so we probably just combust and then, like, uppercut, double strike on this looter. Yeah, that seems good. Or combust damages both. I said kills both, but that's not true. I guess it does kill both. Okay. I take it back. Believe we healed on that fight. Ooh, what about Sentinel Plus? It's kind of just to defend, but it says plus on it. Does Sentinel Minus not get 2 energy? Yeah, Sentinel Minus does get 2 energy. Getting 3 energy is a pretty big deal. We've got a Fiendfire, but after we Fiendfire, we've got nothing to spend energy on. We don't have Ice Cream. So we need Dark Embrace for that to be good. But the deck wants Dark Embrace, right? The deck also wants Corruption, right? And Sentinel's kind of like a corruption friend. Sure. I think I'll take a Sentinel. Sentinel Plus. I wouldn't take a regular Sentinel, but I will take a Sentinel Plus. Cursed Tome is pretty obviously a yes here. Got plenty of health to spend. Several 2-cost attacks. Although Fiend Firing twice is not particularly good. Uppercutting twice is very good. We also have a Snecko Eye, so we just... doesn't matter what the cost of it is. Alright. Gimme. Alright, got 358, so we should go to a shop. Second Feel No Pain Chemex. Are the big things here. We can take a Bandage up. I don't hate that. Since we have Combust. Still no Rupture. No Rupture available. We can take a Singing Bowl. Do like Feel No Pain, Singing Bowl, card remove. Can we afford that? Nope. Darn. We're probably not taking too many more cards, so Singing Bowl is probably pretty effective. We already want to see lots of card rewards because we want to find, we want to find corruption. So if we're going to lots of fights already and seeing lots of card rewards, we might as well pick Singing Bowl so that we can get lots of health out of that. We have a Blood Pot that we've been holding on to for a long time, so if we Singing Bowl a couple times, we get a little bit of extra value out of that. Looks like we would actually get value out of it the very first time, because we'd hit 70, which is a breakpoint. It's every 5 health is a breakpoint for Blood Pot. So Feel No Pain plus Singing Bowl costs 303. Or wait, no, 309. So then we'd be left with 41, which can't buy anything. Or 49, still can't buy anything. We could do like Singing Bowl Flame Barrier. We're Snecko Eye, so like Flame Barrier does a lot for one card. There's also a Shrug It Off here. Card draw is pretty good with Snecko Eye. It's not really the type of card draw I was imagining though. The like Battle Trance, Burning Pact type, where you do a whole bunch of stuff. And Corelden is super good in this deck because we can generate like a Feel No Pain or a Corruption or Demon Form or like Evolve, Dark Embrace. There's so many good targets for that. Even Rupture is good, right? Because we already have the Combust. Really the only miss is like Fire Breathing or like Combust. This is a tough shot. We could do like Feel No Pain, Flame Barrier, card remove. Maybe Thunderclap's good. We do have Paper Frog. Thunderclap feels like kind of a small card in a Snecko Eye deck. Hand of Greed. It's unlikely to pay for itself, but maybe. What do we think about Hand of Greed? It's kind of late. It's floor 20, right? So we're through a good portion of the game. Hand of Greed's pretty strong, though. Get people vulnerable and then crush them with Hand of Greed. 25 damage with 75% vulnerable is just crazy. 25 times 1.75 is 43 damage for Hand of Greed if they're vulnerable. Hand of Greed plus. Yeah, exactly. We don't really care about the cost, right? So it could be a zero cost attack. It's not really the side quest I was hoping for. The side quest I was hoping for was feed, right? Feed is really what you want. But it is a side quest. And we could buy it with Feel No Pain and Flame Barrier, right? Which is the reason to think about it. So we'd be like Feel No Pain, Flame Barrier, card remove, Hand of Greed. It's a pretty weird shop. It does definitely make the deck better. Flame Barrier is insane, Hand of Greed's insane, Feel No Pain's great. I'm not sure what we're removing. Might even be the Intimidate. Intimidate is pretty weak with Snecko. But probably a strike. I'm actually going to make some tea, because I had a little yawn there for a second. Hey, Leo Limpolia. Welcome. Yeah, it's true. Like, Singing Bowl is just like really expensive, right? We're playing 266 for probably like, I don't know, 20 health. That's a pretty good deal, I guess. It's a mango. It's a better deal than mango, right? What about Chemax? Is Chemax ever good? We don't have a Whirlwind. What is the other X cost thing for Ironclad? I literally just don't even know. Is it just Whirlwind? Yeah, it's just Whirlwind. That's so weird. All the other characters have like 3. I guess there's the colorless one, but... Huh. Strange. Wonder why they did that. Alright. I think I like the Hand of Greed line better than the Singing Bowl line. Let's do it. Oh, I thought I could afford card remove too. Not a huge deal. Apparitions, we just talked about this. I said I was no then. I think I'm still no. If we'd bought the singing bowl, I would probably be yes on apparitions. Because we could like lose some max HP and then gain it back. But I think no. Darn. I guess I could drink the blood pot and pick up one of these. Power pot's kind of weird when we have Enker then. We like already have a power pot for free every fight. Does Ancient Pot do anything? Ancient Pot can like block a Hex. But we're about to go fight an Elite, so it's not really Hex that we're worried about. It's like Slaver Vulnerable that we're worried about. Ancient Pot does nothing in Book of Stabbing and probably nothing in Gremlin Leader, assuming we don't let any fat gremlins hit us. So I think it's going to be Power Pot. Alright, looks like an upgrade. Oh wait. Oh yeah, we can still upgrade. Duh. So Hand of Greed's got a good upgrade. Feel No Pain's got an upgrade. And Fiendfire seem like the main contenders. Fiendfire adds like 3 damage per tick, and it probably ticks like 5 or 6 times. So it's like 15 plus damage per fight. Hand of Greed adds 5 damage, so we'd have to play Hand of Greed 3 times per fight. But that's not really unreasonable. We could definitely end up playing Hand of Greed 3 times a fight. Plus it gets 25 gold, which is a pretty big meta scaling upgrade. Okay. All right. Metallicize, sure. Time to make the money. Yep, we can't. These guys have the minion tag, so we can't make money off them. But I agree with you in spirit. Let's go ahead and just kill both gremlins if we can. 17 kills shield gremlin, and then 9 plus 12 is 1 off. So we can only do it if we can allocate our damage perfectly, and there's no way to allocate the damage perfectly. We have exactly enough damage. We have 38, but there's no way to split it correctly. Yeah, it does say fatal. Non-minion enemy. Yeah, so if it worked the way you're suggesting, you would be able to infinitely farm, whatchamacallit, Darklings. You'd get infinite money, there'd be problems. Alright, well I guess we just do 15 damage to shield gremlin. They protect each other. They've got each other's backs. And Wild Strike for 6 damage and a wound? I think no. This fight's suddenly looking pretty dangerous. I guess we've got Feel No Pain, Fiendfire to block out. I want to get that Combust down, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Maybe we do get the Combust down this turn. This turn is really scary. I guess it's probably Intimidate, like Intimidate Uppercut or something. Let's see what's in here. There's a Corruption. Corruption lets us play the Defend and the Intimidate for free. Okay. And he gives us extra block from exhausting them. And now what? Fiendfire to exhaust a bunch. Or Combust. Or it could be Uppercut Strike, I suppose. Uppercut Strike extends the weak. It's hitting for 24, these are hitting for 6, that's 30 total. None of these options block. So we're taking 19 damage. But if we combust, he's dead next turn. I think it's just combust. Ugh, this hurts. Oh wait, no, we still have puzzle up. We can't combust. Okay, let's do Uppercut Strike then. It's true, Fiendfire blocks. I don't want to. So there's two reasons to not play Fiendfire there. Reason number one, it gets rid of Combust, which is like really important AoE in the fight. Reason number two is we only have one wound so far, and we want Fiendfire to ideally be hitting 2 wounds. Okay. There's the Combust. So Combust is hitting for 7, he's got 10 health left, he's got 1. I kind of want to get this 43 damage. God damn it. Obviously that was not correct. Supposed to do it the other way. Might as well get this Defend out of the deck. Block out. Is Fiendfire lethal? No. It's not far off, though. If we headbutt... So we have Uppercut next turn. If we're able to play Uppercut and Hand of Greed, how much damage is that? 13 plus 43 is 56. So if we like headbutt the Hand of Greed and then Fiendfire on Gremlin Leader, we have a pretty good chance of lethal. We also have 4 energy that we can't do anything with. Give it to me. Darn it. I think we still get it. Yeah, 2 strikes and Hand of Greed does it. Sweet. Money, money, money. Meal tickets, okay. Not amazing. Fire breathing is like the only bad power. But okay, sure. Second Wild Strike seems like a big mistake. There's like already too many wounds for us to deal with. So we're gonna skip it all. Well, I was planning on resting here, but I was also planning on taking damage from that fight. Maybe we rest anyway. We, once again, don't get full value out of it. We'll lose that on 5 value. But we do need to fight this elite, and we could definitely die if we are ill-prepared. What would we upgrade if we were going to upgrade? Probably Fiendfire, maybe Feel No Pain. .30 health is quite a bit. We do have a fire pot, so we're like kind of prepared for slavers. Hand of Greed is just so good in slavers. I will take all of the money, please. By the way, this is now an ASMR tea drinking stream. case you were wondering. Dreamcatcher, come on, we just rested. Oh wait, that's supposed to be it. I wanted to complain about it, and I clicked on it. We just rested, so of course we got the Dreamcatcher, now that we're never going to use it, so it's a Sapphire Key. Deboids. Flame Barrier is pretty good in this fight. So is Combust. We could, like, Fire Pot and Hand to Greed somebody right now. Does 12 damage. Flame Barrier ends up hitting him for 4 times 6, which is what? $24. So he'll be at 6, which is in Hand of Greed range for later. We can develop Berserk with little penalty here. Sure. If we develop Berserk, we can still play Fiendfire and knock him down. This is like a god tier Bird's Turn one. It's like probably the best Bird's Turn one I've ever had. I wasn't even aware that was even possible. So good. I think we're trying to avoid killing him. I think we're trying to avoid killing both because we want to eat everyone, if possible. So we're not going to play Flame Bearer because that would kill him, obviously. So we'll just block out and do 6 damage to you. Hand of Greed. Make me greedy. Alright. We'll go ahead and strike him just in case we need to kill him in an emergency. I guess we could have striked him for the same reason. They're hitting for 15 plus 6 is 21. We can only block for 13. Flame Barrier would kill both. So that's probably more than we were looking for. We could just strike one of them to death. Wild strike the back one to death, even. I guess the back one's easier to block. So I'll go ahead and put him at 2 and kill the other one. I don't really want those cards back, but was forced into that order by Pendib, so. Alright. Only got 2 birds. Acceptable. True Grit is a way to get rid of wounds, which we are in somewhat need of. It's not a True Grit Plus, it is a regular old True Grit. Only 2? Yeah, we're already back up to 238 on money, so like, we went to a shop here, it was not that long ago. Gotten a couple procs out of it. I was mostly concerned with ending the fight at full health so that we can fight slavers in a sec. I don't know. Is True Grit good enough? Seems like it probably is. Okay. Here's slavers, as promised. Metallicize is free. Yeah, it being plus is really important. It's probably the most important upgrade now over Fiendfire. True Grit Plus is just like a monster in Act 4. A burn? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and see what's in the power pot. Maybe it's demon form or something. I guess I'll take a combust. Does some damage. These are terrible. I have Enkerilden and I've drank like 3 power pots. And in all of those things, and in all of the card rewards, I've never seen a Rupture the entire run. We've been looking for a Rupture since like floor 2, when we picked up a Combust. Never saw one. Can I get one? Oh crap, we did this stupid thing with the puzzle and the... Darn it. What did we lose? Anything important? No. Okay. Okay. Feel the Pain Fiendfire seems like a good turn. We end up with 3 energy and nothing to do. Let's see. Fiendfire, we wanted to do like 42 damage, which is too much. We can't get that much. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards would be 35. So we'd have to exhaust the Feel No Pain if we want to kill him. Which I guess is okay. Oh wait, he dies to the Combust. Yeah. Alright then. $45 armor. Take that, Act 2. Uppercut Hand of Greed's coming for somebody. Who will the Reaper take? It's kind of awkward because the there's no other way to block, so we end up just like striking with the rest of the turn. Okay. Okay, I guess Flame Barrier pass. Hey, 4B Labs, welcome back. Flame Barrier again. He's already in range for Hand of Greed, so Uppercut isn't really adding anything. I guess Uppercut gives us some emergency kills next turn if we need it. He takes 4 from Flame Barrier and 5 from Combust, so he's taking 9 already. So actually, if we Uppercut, he dies automatically at the end of next turn, which we don't want. So I'm not going to do that. Because we want to eat him. Alright, we get him anyway. Delicious. Alright. Getting Hand of Greed proxy in Act 2 elites feels really good. Clash is terrible. Despite what Jerry Licious is trying to tempt me into. It's a really bad idea. Twin Strike and Pommel Striker also knows. Pommel Strike's close to being a yes. We just need 4 energy. This Gambling Chip is nuts. Gambling Chip is so insane with Snecko. I'd love to see that. Seeing that. It even works with Enkerilden, so... Oh wait, no. I think the ordering matters, actually. So Gambling Chip should go off before Enkerilden. So we don't have a power when we do that. No, they happen in different phases. I think, yeah. I don't think they happen at the same time. There's a stack, so like the ones on the right happen before the ones on the left. So if they do happen at the same time, we would discard hands and then generate a power, but I don't think that's what'll happen. Yeah, they clearly happen at different times, right? Because they both say at the beginning of the fight, at the start of each combat, but like this one clearly happens like before you even draw your starting hand, and this one happens after you draw your starting hand. So like, yeah, they don't fight. Okay, that's expensive. That's expensive. That's expensive. These are all cheap. Do we want to play Berserk? It seems like probably not. And then we can headbutt Hand of Greed for next turn. Yeah, if we get Uppercut, we kill the cultists, and then we get Hand of Greed for next turn, kill them both. Ah, rats. We might actually kill cultists anyway here. 17 is a lot. 17 plus 25 is... I don't know, numbers... 42? 42 plus 9 is 51, so not quite enough. We'd have to add a strike in there. Also, awkwardly, we want to headbutt the Hand of Greed, but we can't. Then we can't use the damage for headbutt to set up the Hand of Greed. So we have to play like Wild Strike, Strike, 2 mana Strike, Hand of Greed, and then headbutt the Hand of Greed, if we want to set it up. Or we can just headbutt the Wild Strike, that's not bad either. We're probably not killing Chosen, like, immediately. Also, skipping Feel No Pain is like a huge mistake in this fight, because this fight has dazes in it. So I don't think 2 Energy Strike is happening. Okay. So I'll just headbutt the Wild Strike. Just kidding. Restart the stupid fight, because I always mess up. Okay. So we're going to do all the same stuff as before. We kept all these. Okay, so we're going to use the 0-cost strike to set up Pen Nib on Hand of Greed, because that does 50 damage. Okay. So now we can Wild Strike and headbutt the Hand of Greed. And we don't want to skip Feel No Pain, and Combust is more damage than Strike, so I guess we play both of those. But wait, we have Centennial Puzzle, so we shouldn't play Combust. Especially not after we just headbutted something, because then we would draw it and immediately discard it. So either we just play Feel No Pain or we just play Strike. If we skip Feel No Pain... so 13 plus 34... Is it 34? I feel like I calculated this already and it was 34, but I'm going to calculate it again. Nope. 25 times 1.75. It is 43. Didn't seem like enough. Okay. 13 plus 43 is 56. She is at 76, so we need to do 20 more damage. Strike would reduce that down to 14. How do we do 14 damage? Bash? Oh wait, do strikes do 14? No, they certainly don't. 2 strikes, I guess. 2 strikes are a bash. Seems pretty unlikely. So I'll develop Feel No Pain. Yep, it was never happening. Alright, so we're going to try and Hand of Greed her next time around. So we want to Hand of Greed to end the fight, and we also want to set up Pen Nib for next fight, ideally. It probably doesn't matter, because it's just a hallway fight, but still. And we don't really need Impervious to block. True Grit almost blocks all the way out. I guess True Grit does block out as long as it doesn't exhaust Ascender's Bane. Because Ascender's Bane exhausts at the end of the turn. Yeah, that's the risky run. That'll happen. Gnarly. We don't have Lethal. So I guess we just play these cards. We can Fiendfire her to death. Or, if we play Feel No Pain, we get 7 block at the end of the turn for each of these, so we get 14 total. So we can pretty easily block out. And set up Upper Crunch. Yeah, so this blocks out and doesn't shuffle any dazes, or doesn't shuffle any more dazes. We could... No, Wild Strike is lethal. I was going to say we could Wild Strike to set up for emergencies, but it's too much damage. We could just not risk it. It's a decent Pen Nib setup. Set up on 7. Just end the fight now. Seems like a pretty low risk. There's only 1 daze in the deck, 1 wound. Seems like we're gonna get there. Next turn. We can't afford to play both of those. So we're either playing one of them and taking 4 to wait another turn, or we're killing her. Paying 4 health for 25 potential gold. We need an upgrade here. We need to upgrade True Grit. So I think I'm no on health. I'm trading health for setup. It's only 4 health though. It's not very much. Yeah, I'm no. Doesn't even necessarily work. Okay. Could take a 3rd Flame Barrier. I don't see any reason not to take a 3rd Flame Barrier. What's my limit on Flame Barriers in the Snecko deck? 5? I'm pretty sure it's above 3. Definitely above 2. So we're taking this one. 7? 7 seems like an awful lot of Flame Barriers. That's like, you're likely to draw 2 Flame Barriers on a given turn. That's sometimes you draw a hand of 4 Flame Barriers. The thing about drawing 4 Flame Barriers, though, is like, if you draw 4 Flame Barriers against the Heart's multi-attack turn, you like damage cap him and block. It's like actually a pretty good card. And it never wears off. It's like, it just actually is really good for the whole game. So yeah, I guess so. Extra question mark could be Ancient Writings, our last chance to get a bunch of strike pluses. Pretty please. Knowing Skull, come on. We are out of potions. Maybe this is our opportunity to make Regal Pillow do some work. I don't doubt it. It's really good. I mean, you can't have that be your only source of damage, but you definitely can have it be a source of damage. And I don't know if Chad hasn't noticed, but this deck does not have any offensive scaling whatsoever. It's like a Fiend Fire, and that's it. So, if it comes down to it, I will try to Flame Barrier the Heart's Death. Okay, so we heal for... at a fire, we heal for 30% of our max HP. 68 times 0.3 is 20. Almost 21. Oh, I typed 69 instead of 68, which is nice, but not correct. But it's still 20. So it's 20 plus 15, so we heal for 35. Assuming that we're roughly health neutral on the next hallway fight, that means we want to be at 68 minus 35, which just because I have, or sorry, yeah, 68 minus 35. So we want to be at like 33. So if we spend 12 health here, we're at 32. And that's pretty reasonable. We've got plenty of money, so we don't need to do that. Are colorless cards good? They almost certainly are. A lot of colorless cards exhaust. And we have 2 Feel No Pains. There's also things like Dark Shackles that Ironclad doesn't normally have access to. Sadistic Nature got a buff, and we have Uppercut and Intimidate. Hopefully at some point Shockwave. So colorless card is good, and Potion is also good. Can you get Forethought? I don't doubt it. Apotheosis would be fine. We've still got all of our unupgraded strikes and defends. Getting Flame Barrier pluses is nuts. A lot of good options. We get a second Hand of Greed. Actually, no. I think for some reason the Knowing Skull event, these are always uncommon colorless cards. It doesn't say that anywhere, but I think these are always uncommon, which is kind of weird. Madness is probably not good. This is a Snecko deck. Probably don't want any of the zero cost stuff, so maybe colorless cards are not good. Maybe we just want a potion. No, there are no common colorless cards. They're all either uncommon or rare. Which is kind of strange, but you know what? Whatever. I was looking at the wiki for something unrelated, and I saw the name of an old patch. And apparently there was a time when all colorless cards were just the rare colorless cards. There weren't any uncommon ones. They were all just what are currently rares, which is kind of wild. Alright, I think we're just going to do potion and leave. Boo. Well, they added a bunch of uncommon ones. They weren't all in their current state. Uppercut Fiendfire looks pretty nuts. So I think we're just gonna gambling chip stuff that that we want to protect from Fiendfire, basically. The rest of the stuff can all go. Okay, great. It is Uppercut getting the pen nib, unfortunately. I guess we could just Fiendfire without Uppercut. But we want to protect Uppercut from the Fiendfire too, so. Hoocha. Well, I was assuming this was roughly a health-neutral fight. It looks like we might just heal for 6 on it. Alright. Fine. Great. Having a lot of trouble making use of this Rego pill. I guess we should have taken 2 potions. The math would have actually added up perfectly, right? Because we were 1 over. So if we'd taken 7 more and then healed for 6, would have been amazing. Perfected Strike's terrible. Inflame would be our first strength scaling. Nah. And Infernal Blood's really bad in a Snecko deck. Although, is it? We've got 2 Feel No Pains. Just having a card that says Exhaust is not terrible. No thanks. Maybe we just upgrade here? Seems like we're pretty strong. We could definitely die, though. I will not risk it. What's the upgrade? True Grit. I do like me a True Grit Plus. Alright, I'll risk it. Come on, Snecko, I trust you. Don't let me down. Ooh, a free Feel No Pain. We don't need to defend this turn. Probably don't want to Fiendfire either. It's too early. This is 0-cost Fiendfire, though. Okay. Seems like a fine Impervious. Too early for Combust, we haven't puzzled yet. Actually, maybe we don't need Impervious here. Maybe we can save it. Could use the Elixir to block. To exhaust the, like, defend and maybe the headbutt. Flame Barrier blocks for 12. They're hitting me for 29. So there's a deficit of 17. Blocking for 17, or 7 per cards. We need to do 3 cards to make up the full deficit. Seems like we should just play Impervious. So then I guess we're skipping Flame Barrier. That's fine. Go ahead and extend that sweet, sweet Vulnerable. Yeah, Elixir on Ironclad is pretty nuts. Elixir is Ironclad only, right? I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's terrible, but kind of depends on what you got. Yep, Elixir is Ironclad only. Well, this turn sucks. Darn you, Snecko. Okay, so let's just use the... let's use the Elixir now. Got our third Feel No Pain, so we block for 10 per card. They are hitting for 35. So we can do 4 cards. Be like Strike, Strike, Defend, Wild Strike. Maybe we should take 5 damage to proc Centennial Puzzle, because otherwise we're never ever going to play Combust. And Combust is potentially coming back next turn. We could also save Wild Strike that way. I don't really need to Intimidate though, so we can just do Elixir Intimidate. So it'd be like Defend, Double Strike, Intimidate. That seems fine. And then we get to play Wild Strike, which is good. I've noticed that I've only done damage to Collector, which seems wrong. It's just been hard to skip the damage with the extra. I think that's the first time someone has literally put an SM Work emote in my chat, Jerrylicious. I appreciate it. I'm very familiar with the emote from Hearthstone. Gosh darn it, we do Combust again. What if this turn is Strike, Strike, Hand of Greed? Because we set up Pen Nib. Is it lethal? It's like 20 damage from those, and this does 50 plus 75%. 50 times 1.75 is a large number. 87. I guess I could have done that in my head. 87.5. It's 87.5 plus 20. So we're doing 107 damage, putting him down to like 90. Or, whatever. 84. His vulnerable does wear off next turn. But we could potentially lethal him with Uppercut Fiendfire next turn. Especially since Puzzle is going off with that line. We are like weakened. Or actually we're not weakened, we have Ginger. So maybe we just plan on lethaling him next turn. And say, what is it, Collector? What do you want? That does involve us taking 14 damage, which is not nothing. Leaves us at 24. But like Fiendfire blocks for 1,000,000 next turn, so I don't think I'm too worried. Alright. Is there a reason we're not headbutting instead of striking? Headbutt just does more damage than strike. Take a Flame Barrier back for next turn or something. And then we don't lose quite so much health. Oh, Uppercut Fiendfire, you're such a tease. Oh wait, we can trigger at the Sentinel and then we have enough energy. Is that good or bad? I think we probably just have lethal, right? Trigger at Sentinel, Uppercut Fiendfire. Okay, so Uppercut does 13, so he is at 66. And then Fiendfire is going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. 7 times 1.75 is 12. So 12 times 7 is 84. Seems lethal. We're definitely not like waiting for Hand of Greed here, so I see no reason to wait. Who needs to kill Torch Heads? Finally, we got a feed. Way late. Yeah, right? That upgraded trigger was like a huge deal. Yeah, we almost rested instead of upgrading that trigger. I almost forgot. And then we ended up taking, what was it, like 9 damage in the fight, so we definitely didn't need to rest. Feed is great for sure. It's a little late, but feed is great even late, much like Taco Bell. Feed is like fourth meal of the card. No, burger is wrong. It's supposed to be a taco. That's bad. That's bad art right there. Offering's good too. Offering is often health positive in this deck. Two feel no pains. Feed actually is not amazing because we already have a side quest. It's kind of the problem. With feed. But we also have $500, so maybe that side quest is like not that important anymore. Buying a Hand of Greed and having a golden idol is like a lot of money has been made this run. Capitalist Ironclad. We made an investment into Hand of Greed and it's paid off. It's paid off big. Offering helps the eventual maybe rupture that probably we won't ever see because we're just seeing 7 copies of Flame Barrier and that's the way it's going to be. We don't really have enough healing to keep up with an offering like every fight. He's Bludgeon great because of pick because of Snecko. You could consider Bludgeon a good pick because of Snecko. Definitely Bludgeoning for 0 feels good. And like maybe just like Paper Frog, Uppercut, Bludgeon is like how we kill the heart. Like that's damage. What is a... Okay, so let's see. What's Bludgeon plus? 42. So 42 times 1.75 is 73 damage. That's a good chunk. That is 10% of the heart's health right there. Bam. One card. Here I am thinking about offering. NL Wasted Link knows exactly where the place is. The place is the face. You can bludgeon them to death. Yeah, I think I'm taking Bludgeon. We've already got a side quest. This gets its cost randomized, which basically ruins it, right? Nobody wants to play a 2-cost offering. Bam. I mean, we already block for so much, right? Like, this is a ton of block in a deck. It got Impervious, 3 Flame Barriers, 2 Feel No Pains, Sentinel, True Grit, tons of block. Might as well also be able to hit for 73, right? Womp. Unironic Bludgeon pickup. Seems like some energy would be nice. Pretty skeptical that Runic Dome is a good idea. It seems like we need to like block on the right turns. Especially with 3 Flame Barriers, we kind of need to know when the heart is multi-attacking. Although, do we? Because, like, whether he's multi-attacking or not, we kind of just, we need to play Flame Barrier if it's in hand and playable. Runic Dome Snecko Eye is such a weird feeling, because it's like, you want to like use your cards that are appropriate for the situation, but sometimes Snecko Eye makes your entire hand cost 0, and you're like, who cares what they're doing? I'm playing all the cards. And sometimes Snecko Eye makes your whole hand cost 3, and you're like, alright, what are they doing exactly? Because we need to block that. Sozu's okay. I'm fine carrying a Liquid Memories. It fights a little bit with all the gold stuff, Golden Idol and a Hand of Greed. Want us to like go to shops and buy potions. So Sozu kind of ruins that. I think it's going to be Runic Dome. I think Black Blood is just not good enough to fight with Runic Dome. We need a 4th energy. Black Blood is the purple thing. So it just doubles your Burning Blood, which is nice. But we already have Regal Pillow, so we should be fine in terms of health. I'm gonna grab the dome. Alright, we want to prioritize shops because we have 500 gold. We also have to go here because of reasons. So we're probably not going to a shop until there, which is super awkward because it's like 5 floors before the next shop. Boo. Alright, this decision doesn't matter, so we pick either one. And we get some spikers. We don't get to see what they're... Oh, right. We just don't get to see intentions anymore. Duh. I was like, what are their intentions? So I can decide what cards to mulligan. Nope. Don't get to do that anymore. He's probably attacking. They're probably not. That's generally how this works. So we're probably going to play like Feel No Pain, True Grit on a Sentinel, which means we got plenty of energy to play Uppercut, and we don't need Defend. Well, now there's a Hand of Greed. So if we Feel No Pain, True Grit the Sentinel, that's energy neutral and blocks for a bunch, so we'd still have 4 energy. It's not enough to Uppercut Hand of Greed, though. We also can't, like, Wild Strike Hand of Greed. There's just literally no way to Hand of Greed this turn, right? Or no way to get a Hand of Greed off. Because it costs 3 and we have no other way to do damage. For 1. Other than Flameware. Which doesn't count. That's always happening. I guess we could... No, actually we can do it, right? Because we can just trigger the Sentinel without the Feel No Pain. And then it's energy positive, and then we can Uppercut Hand of Greed. Or Wild Strike Hand of Greed. But Uppercut's more stylish. Okay. Greetings, Spikers. Give me all your money. Well, this is awkward. I can't tell if they're attacking or not. I don't scale up at all. I just need to, like, wait for Combust, I guess. And kill them with that. Blocking for 17 should be good enough. I'll just go ahead and headbutt one. Take my Flame Barrier back. Or I could take Hand of Greed back. No, it's not time for that yet. Maybe I was supposed to take Feel No Pain back. Fiendfire seems bad. We could just Ka-chonk one. We can, like, Feel No Pain, Impervious, Bludgeon. Bludgeon on him so that he's in range. Bonk. Fiendfire exhausts 3 cards right now. If we did it on him, we'd take 27 damage per turn. Seems like we only have 25 armor. That would draw us a card, technically. Yeah. Alright, Flame Barrier Defend is happening. I would like to bash this front one so that he's in range. But then we take 11 damage return, and if they're hitting for even 6, they get to me. They're probably both buffing, because that's usually what they do. But they could be both attacking. I guess I'll just end turn. Both buffing. Alright. Let's go ahead and trigger the expensive strike. And throw up a Flame Barrier and defend. And then we can Fiendfire for 2 and take 13 damage return, go to 26. No, I don't think I'm doing that. Wait, 13 damage return. No, 26 damage return puts us at 4, and then we block for another 3, so we block for 7. Sorry, how much did they hit for? Time to open up all the wiki pages, because we are a Snecko eye deck. Okay. Give it to me straight, wiki. How much did they hit for? 9. Alright, and they don't have any strength. So I think as long as we can take 9 damage, that's fine. We would be taking 7, or we'd be blocking for 7 though, so I won't do it. No, thank you. Alright, so now we can do the thing where we Hand of Greed one of them. And I'll just assume the other one's not attacking, because it's convenient to assume that. Aha, he wasn't. We got him. Alright, let's True Grit the bash. Should have done the strike, not sure why I did the bash. That was dumb. Uh, 28 blocks should be enough to hit him. He can only hit for 9, so this is safe. And Uppercut weakens him, so now he's in range. Whenever Hand of Greed decides to roll around again. Must have heard me talking about it. I'll take 2 to get the fight over with, sure. Sever Soul may be the closest thing we're going to see to a second wind in this run. We've got 2 Feel No Pains and no way to use them. I mean, they do get used out of like Fiendfire and True Grit and stuff. Impervious, Intimidate. There's stuff it does, but there's no second wind. Sever Soul's just so bad though. I don't think it's worth it. I guess how much is 16 times 1.75 is the real question. 28 damage. It's some damage. It's no bludgeon. Yeah, I think I'll pass. Okay, surprise shop. We've got 600 gold, so this is very exciting surprise shop. There's a Mummified Hand and a medical kit. And an Evolve. Holy cow. Medical kit is nuts with Feel No Pain, so we're definitely doing that. Okay, great. Medical kit, Evolve, everything's looking great. And then we just like card remove a strike or something. We've got so much money. Medical kit Evolve only costs 248. So we'll have 352 left over. So we could buy Tungsten Rod or Mummified Hand too. Mummified Hand is quite good with Snecko Eye because you can... It'll hit like expensive stuff, right? It'll just make some random 3-cost card in your hand cost 0. And we've got a couple of powers. We're about to buy an Evolve, so we're going to have 4, it looks like. Oh no, 5 with Combust. Wait, 1, 2, 3. It would be 4. Mummified Hand versus Tungsten Rod is tough. Tungsten Rod also makes Combust free. And if we're never going to find a Rupture, then Tungsten Rod's pretty nice. We can't quite afford both. We're not really interested in saving money because we will make more money by the time we get to this later shop. But maybe we do want to save some money, right? Because we'll do this shop, and then we're going to be forced into the Act 4 shop too. This is always happening. Is Evolve good? We've just got the 1 Wild Strike. I mean, it's so good in the heart fight, though, right? Yeah, I think we want that Evolve. And then we actually can't afford Mummified Hand card remove like I thought we could. So it's either Mummified Hand or Tungsten Rod and then nothing. No card remove. Tungsten Rod's pretty insane though. First boss is Awakened One. I guess we don't really want Mummified Hand against Awakened One. We were offered Apparitions this run, so we could have had Apparitions Tungsten Rod. Which is silly. I guess if we buy a Mummified Hand, we'll probably buy a Potion too. Nah, I'll just buy a Tungsten Rod. Okay. Alright. Tough to get Hand Agreed to go off in this fight. Combust is finally actually good on turn 1. Let's just get rid of the expensive stuff. I think we're gonna go ahead and Impervious this turn too. So it's like Impervious, Combust, something else. I guess I'll play the Evolve since we have a 0-cost Wild Strike in hand. Alright, this is the more dangerous turn. Because we don't know what they're doing. So they could be multi-attacking and such. So it's probably just feeling the pain. Fiendfire. I'm not crying about losing any of these cards. Okay. I assumed he was dying, but he isn't. Is 28 enough block? Probably not. We could Liquid Memories a Wild Strike, or Hand Agreed. Oh wait, no, Hand Agreed doesn't proc. Oh wait, he does a Combust, duh. Okay. Blocking perfectly with Runic Dome. What is even the problem with Runic Dome? Why doesn't everybody play it all the time? We can probably end the fight this turn if we want. He's gonna die either way. I think I'll keep the fight going. The middle one can't multi-attack. I don't know if people knew that, but he only attacks once. Only the outside two can multi-attack. So he can't kill himself on the fire, was the consideration. Alright, he dies to Combust. So we're just hanging out, waiting for Hand Agreed. He's going to be set up for Hand Agreed next turn already, although this guy's respawning as well. So we kind of want him to be as low as possible next turn. He's taking 7, and if we Flameberry, he could take up to 8 from that, so it's like 15. So we could bash him and then be low. That's a little too low. 9 is too much because then he could die. Wait, actually, if he dies to Flame Barrier, this Darkling has already respawned, so the fight doesn't end. I think that's the way that works. Takes 8 plus 7. Wait, that's only 15. Not sure why I thought he was dying. Still no Hand Agreed. So we're just trying to set it up again for next turn. This time this guy will be respawning. He's already dying to Combust, so we just have to take care of this guy doesn't die, because if he dies on his turn, the fight will end, because he goes before him, so he won't have time to respawn. So we have to be a little bit careful. He's taking 7, potentially 8 from a Flame Barrier. So he's taking 15. We have to be careful not to do at least 10 damage to him. Or we can double Flame Barrier, and then he takes potentially 16 to himself. we'll do that. Because it's very safe. Darn it, Hand of Greed. What is the problem? He's already dead to combust. We can only block for 13 this turn, which is probably enough. What's the max Darkling skip for? If I were paying attention, I would know exactly how much he's going to hit for, because he sets it at the beginning of the fight. So it's D plus 2. And so it's potentially 13. So we can block for 13. Okay. Block for 13. And then he's taking 7, so he's going to 22. And there's no damage return, so we just have to keep him... Not do 22 to him, so we can do 12 pretty safely. Leave him at 10. Okay. A couple of flame barriers here. Probably want to kill this outside one. Maybe we killed the inside one, since he's up to 2 strength now. It's a little bit more dangerous. But we can just like uppercut bash the outside guy back down. Yeah, I like that. Oh my god. Why? Hand of Greed, why? Okay, he's already dead, so we have to be careful not to do more than 12 damage to him. Flame Barrier does 8. So we basically just have to do exactly this. Right? 8 plus 7 is 15. So we can strike him if we want. That leaves him at 4. Or bash, I guess. Yeah, I guess why not bash, right? Okay, Hand of Greed costs 0. Presumably this is it, right? I think we did it. I think we got there. Alright, so we like... Wild Strike you, uppercut you, Hand of Greed. Okay, we did it. Wasting a pen nib, but 25 gold is way more important than pen nib, so I'll take it. Okay, that took forever. Second True Grit. True Grit seems way less important now that we have Medical Kit. So that's a no. Okay. Alright, gonna have a tough time eating Transient. Not saying it's impossible, we're gonna have a tough time doing it. Probably like double Feel No Pain Bludgeon is the current plan for this turn. So I'll just get rid of everything else that isn't getting played. Fiendfire, hopefully we can draw back to that. He hits for... Wait, does he hit for 40 on turn 1? Are we taking damage? I think we're taking damage. Oh, nope, we're not. It's 40, but I forgot about the exhaust. Okay. So he's hitting for 50 this turn. Impervious pretty much blocks out by itself. Sure, might as well develop Combust as well, I suppose. Alright, this turn's 60. But Intimidate's going to make that more complicated. Is it like Uppercut Strike? Yeah, I think it's Uppercut Strike. Strike is better than Sentinel, right? So this is the max. He's taking 60 this turn. He's got minus 23, so that leaves him at 37. 37 with weak is... So 37 times 0.75, 27. So he'd be hitting us for 17. Or we could Liquid Memories. For Fiendfire? Fiendfire definitely locks out. I don't hate just getting hit for 17. Oh, Combust, that's true. So it ends up being 30 times 0.75. So he's hitting for 22. So 12 over. We end up losing 11 health because of Tungsten Rod. Heal for 6 at the end of the fight. I don't want to use the Fiendfire unless I have to. Seems like we don't have to yet. Okay, lots of answers this turn. He's vulnerable, so Wild Strike and Hand Greed probably enough. It's hidden for 70 here. But we can, yeah, Wild Strike and Hand Greed do it. We can't really develop anything for next turn, but we can play a bunch of cards, so that's fun. Alright, this is the 80 damage one. Uppercut Bludgeon. Get bludgeoned, you fool. You absolute fool. Okay. And then hopefully Fiendfire for next turn. Yes. Should do it. Blocks for 70, does 70 damage. Seems good. Alright, not too bad. Got to save the potion. Another Sentinel Plus being offered. We have a True Grit Plus and a Fiendfire have been our main ways of getting rid of it. Really need that second wind at some point. But it's not coming. I don't know. I feel like Sentinel Plus has been exhausted mostly by just Fiendfire, which is useless without the Dark Embrace. So I don't think I'm willing to add a second one. The first one was a bit of a stretch. Second one's crazy. Alright, we have to go this way if we want to fight the Heart, and we do. Hooray, Writhing Mass. Gotta love Runic Dome Writhing Mass. Absolutely the best. Well, I guess we want to get out of this fight as soon as possible. Alright, I think it's just Feel No Pain Fiendfire here. I don't really care about losing a Flame Barrier because we have 3 of them. And Fiendfire should block out. Let's see, it's only 3, so 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blocks for 21. Yeah, we're not vulnerable yet, so that should be enough. It'd feel really silly if I take damage because I had an Impervious in hand. Alright. Uppercut's probably happening so that we can reduce his damage. We are now vulnerable. So a big amount of damage could be coming in. This might be the Liquid Memories for Flame Barrier. Which would feel really stupid if he is cursing. Unfortunately, this turn looks pretty garbage. Feel No Pain, Uppercut, Wild Strike are the things I most want to play. Doesn't really work. Doesn't block at all. I think it's just irresponsible to use the Liquid Memories when we can't tell what he's doing. It blocks for 12 in the best possible case, but we can pretty much always use it to block for 12. So as long as we don't die here, it's fine. Ouch. Well, I was going to say it's going to be tough to set up a Hand of Greed, but getting a Bludgeon when he's vulnerable is quite a bit of damage. So what's our max damage here? It's like a strike on the armor, and then bludgeon. So strike puts him down to 6 armor, so he's effectively at 100. Bludgeon does 56, but then he heals for 3, so he effectively takes 53 damage, goes to 47. Strike does 10, but he gains 4 armor, so effectively does 6 damage, so he goes to 41, and then this kills him. Seems lethal. Alright, let's try it out. Yep, math works. Delicious writhing mass. Tastes exactly like spaghetti. Okay. Took a little bit of damage in that fight, but we managed to save the potions. Iron Wave is a no, Rampage is a no, Warcry is a no. Okay. Max HP Reptomancer. Fair enough. Combust is amazing in this fight, kinda. I guess it's... maybe it's not amazing. I would like a Feel No Pain to go with my Fiendfire. Is Uppercut getting played? Yeah, I think we like Uppercut a dagger to death and then Fiendfire the other dagger is probably what's happening. Okay. Now there's a Bludgeon too. Inflame is better than just exhausting it to Fiendfire. I guess we can just... oh my god, Hand of Greed does so much damage. Do we have Lethal? Max damage is like Uppercut, Bludgeon, Fiendfire. Uppercut does 30, Bludgeon... this is telling me the pen nib number, so that's not right. Bludgeon is doing 32... wait. Oh, we've got 2 strengths, so 34. 34 times 1.75 is 59. So 59 plus 30 is 89. And then Fiendfire hit is hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. 4 cards for 9 times 1.75. 9 times 1.75 is 15. So we were at... this was 59. So we were at 39, or 89. And this is 15 times 4. It's not close. Okay, alright. Just had to check, because, you know, we have lots of multipliers, so could have been. So I think we use Uppercut to kill one, Bludgeon to kill the other one. Develop... Combust and Evolve, and then Hand of Greed on the Reptomancer. Seems fine. Maybe we Bludgeon on Reptomancer, since it's 68 damage right now. Or we Uppercut Reptomancer. Let's see, can we Uppercut Reptomancer? That seems good. So it's like Uppercut Reptomancer, Bludgeon 1 to death. We can't Hand of Greed 1 to death, so we'd have to Hand of Greed on Reptomancer, and then we can't play Fiendfire. So that would end up taking damage. But not a tremendous amount of damage. And we do quite a bit of damage to Reptomancer with that line. We do the old 89 damage. And we develop Vulnerable for next turn. Actually, wait, with Hand of Greed, we could put one into Combust range. So we could Uppercut and Bludgeon on Reptomancer, and then Hand of Greed, one of them, play Combust, and then develop, like, Evolve. So we do the 89 damage to Reptomancer, we kill one of them, we take 9, which procs our puzzle. Yeah, that seems okay. Let's do that. Intimidate makes us take a little bit less damage. But Evolve is really important because she wounds you, so let's develop that. Okay. Wow, double Flame Barrier Impervious. Seems like a lot of block. Everything costs 0 except for Feel No Pain, Wild Strike, and Defend. So I guess we're just playing Feel No Pain of the cards that cost energy, and they're playing everything else. He's hitting for 25, so we should probably kill him. He takes 7 at the end of the turn, so the 2 strikes is enough, and then we can keep the vulnerable going on Riptomancer. Okay. Need to do at least 3 damage to the 2 daggers or kill Riptomancer, but it doesn't look like killing Riptomancer is on the table here. I would love to headbutt a Hand of Greed for next turn, because it seems like we're probably going for lethal next turn. So we need to play at least 2 attacks, which means we're probably playing True Grit for the last bit. So no attacks on Ripto. Okay. Maybe we take back Fiendfire instead of Hand of Greed. Yeah, let's take back Fiendfire in case she's summoning and we need a bunch of armor. And maybe we're not getting lethal, because she's at 112. If we draw Bludgeon and Hand of Greed, we might get it. Drawing Bludgeon and Hand of Greed is not that unlikely. We have Evolve up too, and there's a couple of wounds. I guess it's not an Evolve Plus, so it isn't card positive, but... yeah, I'll take the Fiendfire for safety. We might be taking damage here. She can hit pretty hard. Nope, she summoned. Nice. Alright. Fiendfire does 15 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the same as 30 times 3, which is 90. So not lethal. But it would set up for the Hand of Greed. We could develop Flame Barrier and then Fiendfire, which seems like it would block for more. But it might accidentally kill Riptomancer. I don't think that's likely, because then we're hitting 5 cards instead. So instead of doing 90, we're doing 75. Yeah, she can't hit herself for that much. Okay. Darn. We have Bludgeon for 0, if we want to end the fight. This is always happening. Bludgeon for 0 also sets up Pen Nib on 9 for the next fight. We're probably resting here, which means we're already healing for 35. So we're actually over our max health. So we can afford to take a little bit of damage here. So we could, like, Bludgeon one, bash the other one, and then, like, defend, True Grit, Intimidate. So that she doesn't die to damage return. Actually, she only takes 7, so she's at 12. Yeah, she only hits twice, so leaving her at 8 would be fine. Yeah, okay. Who needs Pen Nib, am I right? Intimidate True Grit blocks for way more. Right? Yeah, it does. And she's summoning. Darn. Okay. Well, I guess this Feel No Pain's free, which makes this wound block for more, which is nice. If we uppercut one, they die to Combust. Oh wait, is Combust killing Reptomancer here? She takes... yeah, if she multi-attacks, she dies. She takes 15. Darn it, Hand of Greed. Alright, well this is now an unnecessary risk, so I won't take it. Molten Egg, a little late for that. Demon Form? I mean, it's a Snecko Eye deck, right? So I should probably take it. It's scaling. Okay. Weird. And a Cultist Pot, so we can get an extra Demon Form. I guess I'll discard a Speed Pot. I was assuming we were resting here, but do we need to? Yeah, we kind of do. What would we upgrade if we weren't going to? Probably Evolve. Evolve's got a pretty important upgrade, especially for Act 4. But I think we are... maybe we recall here, actually. This is actually our second to last fire, probably. So yeah, let's recall here. That's the smart thing. Okay. And hope we don't die in hallway fights. These are too expensive. Feel no pain, I'm willing to pay the price for them. Inflame costs 0, and then can we strike Hand of Greed? Yeah, it does exactly 35, right? Getcha. And oops, darn it. I was supposed to Feel No Pain trigger the Sentinel first, because it's energy neutral, but you have to have 3 energy to do it. Okay. This is what we did last time. Did we look into Center Span last time? I feel like I drew 3 cards last time. Hey, Dwindling Storm. How's it going? Sure. We apparently didn't, because we didn't draw Evolve last time. Thanks for the follow, Marmally. Appreciate the support, and welcome to the Vegetable Patch. My day's going good. Woke up early, played some Half-Life Alyx, got some exercise in, started my stream. I must not have slept very well, because I was kind of tired, but I seem to be fine now. Alright, so we're just repeating this turn as before, except we're doing that bit first. And then Strike Hand of Greed kills these foos. And we get up our Evolve. Okay, great. Alright, he's attacking for 11 this turn. He's attacking for some number also. We are probably killing him. We don't have time to try and draw back to Hand of Greed for him. Oh wait, we have Headbutt. We don't have to draw it. Thanks, Dwindling Storm. Appreciate it. That's what I'm trying to do. The problem with headbutting a Hand of Greed is that we don't have any way to block this turn, and we need to block for 11. Because that's what Spirit Guardian's sitting for. So I think what we do is we actually spend the liquid memories on it. Our potion slots are full, so spending a potion is actually a pretty good idea here. Yeah. Plus the money, am I right? Gotta get the money. We'll develop that. We can play most of the rest of the hand, but then we'd skip Headbutt, or we'd skip Bash. Probably more on Team Skip Bash. Getting a Flame Barrier back is nice for next turn. Next turn is his multi-attack turn. There's the demon form. Demon form, double flame barrier seems fine. Double flame barrier, defend, wound, blocks out. Sure. I guess Fiendfire also blocks out. It's a little spicier. So we could, like, demon form, bludgeon, Fiendfire. I mean, we have lethal, right? If we want it. So it's just a question of, like, are we trying to wait for Hand of Greed on this guy? Kind of a hard target for Hand of Greed to hit. Because of the armor. I mean, Fiendfire blocks out, right? So if we let Fiendfire do the whole hand, it would do... We have a 10 card hand, 3, 6, 9, 10. Yep, so Fiendfire would hit for 81. Easily over lethal. So we actually have to play cards to reduce the damage of Fiendfire if we want to wait for, whatchamacallit? Hand of Greed. Okay, so how much do we want Fiendfire to hit for? It's 9 times something. He's at 58. So we want it to be 9 times 6, because that's 54. But wait, that's a little too close. So maybe 9 times 5. Because he's going to take some flame barrier damage this turn, too. So if we want to do 5 cards, then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems pretty doable. Okay. So then we play the rest of the cards. Great. Oh no, he died. Shit. Oh well. Not a huge deal. I forgot that he's multi-attacking and taking 8 damage from Flame Barrier. Whoops. Second Wild Strike, I think, is actually a yes. Wasn't anticipating wanting another attack that generates wounds, but we have an Evolve and 2 Feel No Pains now. So, and this does 17 damage. I'll grab it. Or Calcum probably won't proc very much. Pretty good at blocking. Ooh, an Upgrade Shrine. It's like a campsite, but without the option. A couple of good upgrades here. Evolve's probably the first one, because you get double the effect when you upgrade it, which is nuts. Demon Form's kind of okay. Fiendfire's got a good upgrade. Bash would increase our vulnerable uptime, which is pretty important, because Paper Frog. Flame Barrier, Feel No Pain have some reasonable upgrades. We talked about Bludgeon Plus when we originally calculated the damage for it, but haven't gotten around to it. I guess Bludgeon Plus is probably better than Fiendfire Plus, because Bludgeon Plus you can do it over and over. Fiendfire is just once. But I don't think either one's as good as Evolve. So go ahead and get that down. Alright, Darklings again. Hey, our first Rupture! It's actually quite bad now, because we took a Tungsten Rod. But that's the price you pay. Alright, we can't actually activate that, so we're getting rid of that. That's too expensive. I think we can do better than 2-cost Defense. But Bludgeon is spicy. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Ascender's Bane too. We need to have some answers this turn. And I think Strike is also not good enough. A lot of mulligans. Okay, so we're going to uppercut somebody and then bludgeon somebody else. Because Bludgeon's going to have Pen Nib. So we'll go ahead and uppercut this one. Bludgeon that one. Bonk. Impervious feels like a bit of an overreaction to this turn. But anything else feels like an underreaction, so maybe we just do it anyway. I want to develop the Feel No Pain, but it seems like that's not realistic. We could Headbutt Demon Form, trying to get a new cost for it. But no, I think I'll just Impervious. Okay. Not much of an overreaction, only had 10 extra block. Okay. So we need to kill him. We can just do that with Hand of Greed. But then how are we blocking? I guess True Grit. We didn't play the Feel No Pain, so True Grit's only blocking for 9. I wasn't paying attention to how much Darkling hit for last time. Should have been. because he's going to hit for that same number here. Bash or combust. Combust definitely does more average damage, or more total damage. Yeah, all right. All right, we squeaked by there. Didn't quite generate enough armor, but apparently it didn't matter. This one's probably Feel No Pain, Flame Barrier, Fiend Fire. All right, make it so. Fiend Fire is only hitting for 28 here. So I guess I'll do it on the health target with 28 health. Why are these flame barriers always so expensive? Come on, Snecko, give me some. Flame barrier, defend, intimidate makes a lot of sense this turn. Other things are like flame barrier, defend, wild strike. Not sure why I would do that. Yeah, let's just do the obvious line then. Hopefully that's enough block. It's not guaranteed to be. It was. Alright. Do we get lethal? Nowhere near a pen nib proc, so probably not. But we can knock down two guys. It's kind of like getting lethal. We do get Orichalcum and the Feel No Pain proc at the end of the turn, so we block for 9. If we do nothing but murder. So it seems like that's probably what's going to happen. The outside guys are still more dangerous than the inside guy, because the inside guy can't multi-attack. So we'll just carry on killing the outside guys. Alright, he ended up hitting us for 6, so he hits for 15 when he has 4 strength, so his number is 11. Something I was supposed to notice earlier, but didn't. Okay. Defend. Feel No Pain should probably happen. His number's 11, so he hits for 15, so we can play, like, Feel No Pain, Flame Barrier, Wild Strike. I hit for 16. Okay, I guess I got his number wrong. Pen Nib's getting close. This is always getting played. If we can Pen Nib a strike, we can kill this guy at 12. Let's go ahead and knock this guy down. 4 strength is getting a little scary. $19 block should be enough. Oh, I should have just let Combust go on. Would have worked. Alright, Hand of Greed is here. I imagine that's lethal. Sweet. Alright. Clothesline, Ghostly Armor, and Thunderclap. Clothesline is pretty card efficient, considering we are a Snecko Eye deck. We don't apply very much weak, it's just the Intimidate. We've been looking for a Shockwave for forever, but haven't found one. We are a 30-card deck, so that's a bit much. But I think Clothesline might just be a good idea here. It can't be Reptomancer, so it's going to be either Giant Head or Nemesis. We're really good against Nemesis because he generates wounds and we have, or burns and we have medical kit. And feel no pain, so we should be fine in that fight. Giant Head's a little scary. We might need to drink a Cultist Pot if we don't find an early demon form against Giant Head. We need to be scaling up against him because he will kill us otherwise. Clothesline definitely doesn't help that very much. I guess it's actually fairly helpful in Giant Head because you can reduce his damage by a lot. The Ginger is helpful in the Giant Head fight. Can't be weakened because he does do that. I don't know. Clothesline's kind of just like a big chunky attack. Maybe don't need it. Wish it was a second wind. Second wind would be amazing. Been wishing for second wind forever. Maybe we'll find one at this shop. Alright, I'll take it. We don't have much access to weak. Alright, fire breathing's kind of insane here. 2 feel no pains too. He can he start with a 45 damage attack? I think that he can. Let me look him up really quick. He cannot. So it's either debuff or attack, and the attack is the 21 damage thing. Okay. So we need to block for 21. Yeah. But I'm just worried about the 45 damage attack. So if he's starting for 7 times 3, we could Flame Barrier him pretty significantly. Then 45 every turn. Yikes, dude. I can't even imagine that fight. We're not playing Uppercut because we're playing 2 Feel No Pains. So let's just get rid of everything that doesn't cost 0 because we're playing those. No memes, that's right. I intend to like memes in terms of like my card picks. So. Alright. That's enough block to cover... Oh, it's not. Never mind. Almost enough block. Evolve Plus is insane in this fight. So maybe it's like... Evolve Plus Impervious Sentinel or something. Don't let your dreams be memes. It's great advice for life. Thanks for saying that in our chat here. Sure. Right. That blocks for 45. That makes me happy. Can you ever meme on Ascension 20? Definitely. There's a lot of times when you get like so far ahead that you're like, I don't even care. Doesn't even matter what happens next. I win. These cards are all expendable except for Bludgeon, so I think we just Bludgeon Fiendfire. Still could get a hit for 3 here. Nope. Okay. Let's get that on out of here. This deck needs another 4 copies of Feel No Pain. You don't like Snecko? Spitty, come on. What's wrong with Snecko? Weak seems good. That feels like it paid off already. Wasn't too sure about that pick, but... a little bit short on block this turn, so it's going to be Flame Barrier. And I guess Combust. He has never 45 damage attacked. He just doesn't care. Let's get rid of a couple of burns. We might want to True Grit the last burn. I'm still deciding about that one. Probably will just True Grit like an Intimidate. It's a bad card. Especially now that we have Clothesline Plus. I mean, he definitely 45 damage attacks a lot. So we can Bludgeon here. He is not intangible. There's no way to get a Pendant proc. Might as well play that. This is going to block for 9 plus 7 is 16. So if we want to get 45, we still have to Flame Barrier. Okay. Might as well just do it all, huh? Managed to reach A15 with Ironclad and Silent. Still haven't beat the Heart with Watcher. Wow. Watcher's the easiest one for me, so I think you should be able to do it if you're able to do the other ones. Oof, this hand is real bad. This helps a little bit. Uppercut weakens him. So I think it's Uppercut Intimidate, or Uppercut Sentinel over Intimidate. I guess he's already weak, huh? But we can't play Sentinel and Intimidate because it's too expensive. This costs 0, so might as well. I guess Uppercut Sentinel is better because it... you know what we might do? We might do a Headbutt Hand of Greed here. Or Hand of Greed Headbutt, because it's... We do have guaranteed lethal on him next turn with Hand of Greed. It's not lethal if he hits us for 45, but it's a lot of damage. Which would be unfortunate. And he definitely can. What's the latest you would pick up a feast? What do you mean by feast? You mean feed? Floor 54. With no other context, it's hard to say. In this deck, I would pick up a feed on any floor because we have 2 copies of Feel No Pain, and feed is just an attack that does some good damage and exhausts, which is useful in its own right. Even if you can only proc it, even if you never get to proc it, even if you get it from the Spire elites, it's still okay in this deck. It depends on what deck you have. We give up 8 health for 4 gold, or for 25 gold. 25 gold is pretty valuable. We're like about to go to a shop. Okay. We can't die, so... Alright, not too bad. Could have set up the Pen Nib on 9 if I just hadn't played the last attack. It wasn't necessary. Pair's great. Makes me feel a little better about my health. When are the changes coming to live? 2 days ago. They're already live. Unless you're playing on Switch. That's slightly delayed. Pommel Strike says plus on it. There were a bunch of beta changes to primarily Silent, but it also touched a couple of defect archetypes. Yeah, there are patch notes on Steam. Am I crazy? Yeah, there literally are. There's patch November 29th. I guess it's 3 days ago. Let's see. So, yeah. There's a summary in the. Here, can I link this? I don't know how to link it. Sorry. Should have had it ready, I guess. The changes are fairly subtle for most of the cards. The biggest changes are to Reflex, which is the silent card that draws cards when you discard, and in my opinion, the biggest other change is Scrape. Scrape got a huge change. Scrape is way better now. Reprogram also got a big change. So maybe it's more about defect than it is about silent, but the changes were centered around those two. Ironclad got some changes too, primarily to the self-damage archetype. So Hemokinesis got an unnecessary buff. Rupture got a pretty good buff. I don't know. Pommel Strike, it seems like we just have way too many attacks now. We've got like Clothesline and like Wild Strike and Bludgeon, just unlimited attacks. Yes, Hemo was strong before, so Hemo getting even stronger is like kind of amazing. Yeah, Hemo is really good. I think I'm no on Pommel Strike Plus, but almost. Mostly just because we have Evolve Plus that's solving most of our card draw problems. Maybe another Wild Strike. Yeah, how many Wild Strikes do I want? If I've got 2 Feel No Pains and a medical kit and an Evolve Plus, I think I want another one. Okay. Yeah, they did buff the damage. Well, it's not it's not second win, but maybe we take it at this point. Clockwork Souvenir's insane in Act 4. Should probably pick that up. We could get a 4th Wild Strike. We don't really need a second wind anymore because we have medical kit. So I'm not desperate enough to pick a Sever Soul. I might pick another Wild Strike though. We need a Dark Embrace at this point. Maybe it's just Clockwork Souvenir card remove. I don't think Barricade's good in the deck. What about Dead Branch? Oh, Vajra. The twig. It's like a little... what is Vajra? Yeah, it's like a Klingon weapon. What are those called? Batleth. It's like a Batleth. Vajra. Okay, so we're buying this, and we're card removing. I beat you to it, Jizzo. I remembered it. Alright, let's get rid of a Strike. These are terrible. And then Wild Strike or Pass. I think Pass is probably the right answer. Wild Strike's good, but for a 4th copy and spending 51 gold, that gold's going to be useful in the Act 4 shop. You can't have possibly spelled it wrong. You even have the fantasy apostrophe in there. Maybe it's Blood Pot. Are there card pools? Feels like certain cards I never get past the first act. No, the cards are just grouped by their rarity. There are a couple of relics that you can't get at specific times, but that's as close as the game gets to like pooling things outside of their listed rarity. What drives getting upgraded cards later? There's a static upgrade chance per act. So like I believe in Act 2 it's a 10% chance, and then Act 3 it's a 20% chance for a card to be randomly upgraded. Obviously in this game we have Molten Egg, so all attacks are upgraded. I could be wrong about those numbers though. It might be like 25 and 50. It might be significantly higher than what I'm saying. Yeah, I'll buy a Blood Pot. It's got to be worth it, right? We've got 78 health. It's a lot of health for 50 gold. Question mark could be Mind Bloom, could be Sphere, could be Tesseract. I think pretty much everything's good. Let's do that. Could be our second transient of the run. That's stressful. Got a Dark Embrace, so that's neat. Wait, is it our second transient? Because was the other transient with the Watcher? Did we get far enough to fight transient with Watcher earlier? No, we like died in like Act 1 as Watcher. Yeah, this is our second transient. Okay. Okay. I didn't know you could get 2 transients. I guess I'm surprised by this every time it happens, but it's like in Act 1 you can't ever get the same fight twice. And I know that in Act 3 you can, but I always think like that's only Darklings, because Darklings are in the are in both the easy and the hard pools, but then it keeps happening. Dead Branch is not as insane on Watcher as it is on Ironclad. So I would advise some caution. It's certainly good. He's hitting for 40. So Combust is not enough. So we'll play Impervious. Yeah, Watcher has some exhaust cards. So Watcher is the only class where Dead Branch has like repeatedly killed me. I have died a lot to Watcher, to Dead Branch on Watcher. Yeah, that's actually what I would be afraid of, is the powers that give miracles, or particularly Battle Hymn, I would be pretty wary of. Battle Hymn, it seems like it's really good, right? It's an unlimited resource generator, but it'll also fill your hand full of garbage. The reason that Watcher is bad with Dead Branch is because there's lots of like retain cards that you don't really want. There's like Flying Sleeves and like Windmill Strike, and your hand can get just full of garbage. No, it's not Talk About X. Spitty just mentioned he started a Watcher run. Okay, so let's do this, and let's see. What are we gonna do? What's the full turn before we start playing cards? So we're sitting for 50 this turn. Bash, Wild Strike probably is enough. Wild Strike by itself is almost enough. Bash does 17. I want to play the Evolve is the problem, but I don't think I can. Trigger it doesn't do enough. Yeah. I think it's just Bash Wild Strike. Alright, this turn is 60 damage. The other Feel No Pain. Man, Dark Embrace is good. We can, like, bludgeon and then headbutt the bludgeon. Seems great. Blasphemy is absolutely not a meme card. Blasphemy is absolutely bonkers. One of the best cards in the game. Tell us a bit about Coconut. When did Coconut join you? How old is she? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite nap spot? That's pretty much all the information that exists about Coconut. So I'll tell you everything there is to know about Coconut. Coconut is a very old kitty. She's an old lady. She was owned by my wife previous to our meeting. So her relationship with my wife predates mine. Let's see, I already said she's like 20, right? So she's 20 years old, very old for a house cat. She eats kidney medications, so as an old cat, she's experiencing some renal failure, because cats are evolved to live in the desert, so their kidneys are highly efficient and tends to be their sort of life-limiting factor. So old cats, their kidneys start breaking down. Highly water efficient. There's lots of ways for a kidney to be efficient. Water efficient is the way that cats' kidneys are. And so she's on kidney medication, which means we have like special cans of food, and we also mix in some chicken broth and laxatives because she's an old cat. And she likes to nap in sight of where her humans are, but out of reach. That's her favorite thing. She likes to, like, if my wife and I are like talking to each other like 6 feet apart ish, she'll like find a place that's 6 feet from both of us, so she'll like triangulate. She also likes napping on the heat pad that my wife has upstairs in a sunspot. That's kind of her favorite spot. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's all the information. She's very responsive to food. So she's very easy to train. A little bit too much. So a couple of years ago, she also is very vocal. So she'll yell at you all the time. And a couple of years ago, I got sick of it, and I was like, all right, we're gonna train this cat to be quiet. And so what I did was I used like operant conditioning. So I had a random and increasing time schedule of feeding her for not making noise. So she'd get to the little training spot where I've got the treats out, and I'd feed her a treat, and then she'd look at me waiting for the next treat, and like she'd meow, and then after she like didn't meow for like a second and a half, I'd give her another treat, and then she'd like look at me, and eventually she realized like, okay, if I don't meow and like look at him, he'll give me a treat eventually. And eventually it gets to the point where you can like, you've stretched it out to like a couple of minutes, so you can practice like putting the treats away and then getting them back out and feeding her a treat without any noise. And eventually I had it strung out to like hours. so there wasn't really any distinction between like when I was training her to not be loud and when she and not. So she would just sit there all the time and look directly at me and like drool, and then occasionally I give her a treat, which, you know, it worked, but we kind of ended up with a little robot kitty, so we stopped doing that. Scribbles furiously. Okay, let's save the Flame Barrier from the Fiend Fire, and then... Oh wait, Fiend Fire draws a bunch of cards now because we have Dark Embrace. Delicious. Oh my gosh, so many possibilities. We could play Wound to draw a card, we could play Intimidate to draw a card. Dark Embrace is so fun. Sentinel gets exhausted, and now we have energy to draw the new cards. Yes! Let's go. I don't even care that we've already blocked out this turn. We're trying to kill Transient now. This deck is off the rails. Okay. So we're just going for max damage, because killing him is in sight. Plus, if you can kill him, he stops attacking you. There is a wound here, so if we can evolve and then draw the wound, that would be nice. Our only mechanism for drawing is True Gritting. So it'd be nice if we could like evolve Wild Strike True Grit to put a second wound in, but we can't really do that because we can't afford it. Okay. Oof. This is his 60 or 70 damage turn. I'm gonna assume it's 70 because that's more. Wait, no, it's only 60, right? So 60 minus 21 is 39, minus 16 is 23. It's quite a bit of damage. We're not dead though, so we don't need to drink a blood pot. Also, there's Combust. Okay. Let's draw a card. Oh, we should play the Wild Strike before we drew. Oops. Yeah, Combust did help a little bit. Oh man, there were so many neat things we could have done with that wound. We could have, like, played Uppercut and then headbutted it back onto the top of the deck and then played the wound to get the Uppercut back. So many possibilities. This is the last turn. Doesn't look like we're killing him anymore. But for that one shining moment, it looked like a possibility. Fairy, huh? Well, I'll drink a blood pot for that. Whirlwind goes with the Chemical X we skipped 30 floors ago. Nope, don't think we're doing that. Thunderclap says plus on it. I don't think that's quite enough of an inducement to pick here. So we skip it all. Okay, so we could heal for 31, 21. 21 is not much. We'd be wasting 17 health. We also have a fairy, so we're likely to survive even without resting. Or we could upgrade our Feel No Pain. Maybe Feel No Pain is not the right upgrade. It seems like when we play, when Feel No Pain matters, we're already blocking out. We're like playing Fiend Fire or something. And it doesn't matter how much Feel No Pain actually does. But it seems important, especially with the huge amount of Wild Strikes and True and Evolves and stuff in the deck now. And we're about to go into Act 4 where every encounter has statuses, and we've got medical kits, so let's upgrade the Feel No Pain. Okay. Probably don't want to play Dark Embrace in this fight. Although, honestly, I'm not super sure about that. Dark Embrace felt really strong. Wait a minute, do we have an infinite? We have Dark Embrace, lots of Wild Strikes, lots of card ways to get rid of cards, and an Evolve Plus. How do we infinite this deck? We need True Grit to do a lot of work, that's for sure. Why are the costs cheaper for those cards? We have Snecko Eye, so all of our costs are random. Okay, so we have 4... Let's see, count how many cards get removed naturally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 cards get removed naturally. So we're down to 22 cards. So we would need Fiendfire / True Grit to hit 11 cards, and then we would need to draw a full hand to infinite combo. It seems like drawing a full hand is trivially easy with Evolve and Wild Strikes, so I'll assume that's happening. So yeah, it's just we just need True Grit to do some work, and then we're infinite. Okay. So we are playing Dark Embrace, because it makes the infinite go, and we're going to play at least one Feel No Pain. So I think we just get rid of the strikes this turn. There's the Evolve. Alright. Do we Cultist Pot this fight? This fight seems scary. Because we're playing a bunch of powers. It's actually Alpha, Beta, Omega. Gamma would be the next letter in the Greek alphabet, but Omega is the last letter, and that's kind of the point. It's okay. It's usually not correct for Watcher, because Watcher has such good scaling already with Divinity and Wrath mode. But it can be correct. So I think I want to play 2 attacks and then bludgeon a cultist to death. Those 2 attacks are probably Wild Strike and Headbutt, because they cost cheap. So then we've spent 2 energy on that. And then... is it Dark Embrace Evolve? Do we shuffle Dark Embrace for later? Seek is a defect card. Maybe you're talking about Omniscience and I'll waste the link. I mean, you can build an alpha deck with Seeks, but you have to get Prismatic Shard, which is unlikely. Yeah, I think I'm drinking the Cultist Pot right now. I think I'm less afraid of... Am I less afraid of Time Lord? I'm definitely less afraid of Donudeka. Donudeka is by far the easiest, because they give you lots of statuses, and this is like a status-powered Ironclad at this point. Time Lord's still scary-ish. Tungsten Rod is really good. Your feelings are correct. This is a tough turn. I really don't like the whole blocking for 0 thing. Let's pull up Awakened One. On the wiki. I'm pretty sure he can multi-attack turn 1, right? Oh, he always begins with Slash. He cannot multi-attack on turn 1. Okay, good to know. I learn more about this game every time I play with Runic Dome. So he's always hitting for 20. Which basically just means that we're proccing Puzzle, because we can't block. So every power we play gives him 2 more attack. Gosh. Feels like we shouldn't go for the infinite. Feels like the infinite's really dangerous and unnecessary. But I think I'm going to go for it anyway. So we're going to save the cultist spot, because if we're doing an infinite, we don't really care what he's doing. And maybe we'll use the fairy this fight. Alright, so we bludgeon him to death. And then to set up the infinite, we need to play Evolve. We also need Feel No Pain, but Evolve is more important. Okay. So we've got the stuff, we just need to get rid of a bunch of cards now, basically. The enemy intent thing is only ever good when you know what the enemies do. It's kind of a confusing question. We can Fiendfire right now to get rid of a whole bunch of unnecessary cards. It would also redraw a bunch. Yeah, because we don't need any of these. We only need 1 copy of Wild Strike, and we've already got another one. Or we've got more. We've got 2 more. We need to Feel No Pain, but there's no Feel No Pain in hand. We also needed to block this turn. But we'll probably draw some with Fiendfire, right? We could Wound to get an extra card for Fiendfire to eat. The only card that's, like, really bad would be Feel No Pain, and then we would just get to block for a bunch, so let's do that. Okay, I will play Flame Barrier for 0. That's good. And the rest of these are dismissed. Alright, we need to get that Feel No Pain down eventually, but it's not very important this turn. Get rid of that. And I would imagine we've already blocked out this turn. If he is multi-attacking, he's hitting for 12 times 4. 12 times 4 is quite a bit. It's 48, so we definitely haven't blocked out this turn. So I guess Impervious. Darn. Missing a trigger, it's actually kind of a big deal, because we need to play it a lot to get to the full hand infinite combo thing. Seems like it's just Flame Barrier defend this turn. How likely is it to get Barricade and a bunch of block cards? Actually, really likely. Yeah, Barricade is a really commonly useful Ironclad tool. It seems like it's sort of an unnecessary combo piece, but it's a lot of times Ironclad decks end up with Corruption, and if you have Corruption, then Barricade's quite good. You can sort of like burn through your whole deck in 1 turn, get your Entrench up, get up to 500 block, and ignore everything the enemies are doing for the rest of the fight. Alright. Flame Barrier defend has to be enough, I guess. Okay. Well, he just multi-attacked, so he can't multi-attack again. But he can be slashing. I want to play the Feel No Pain in the Demon form to get them out of the deck. So I will do exactly that. I want to play the Wild Strikes too, though. That's right, Pixel Noise, no memes. I mean it. Very serious no meme stream. I just mean that I'm not, like, picking meme cards. I'm picking the good cards today. He is going to eat my fairy here. Almost certainly. Yeah, it is actually certain. He's definitely using Slash, right? And we definitely can't block it. So he's definitely taking the fairy. Doesn't even matter if we Flame Barrier. Actually, wait. If we Flame Barrier and Uppercut, is it enough damage? Because he's only hitting for 26. And we're at 22. 26 times 0.75 is 19. So yeah, we would survive. What if he were hitting for 30? That's if we play both powers. 30 makes him hit for 22, which kills us. So what about 28? That makes him hit for 21, so we survived that. So if we play like Feel No Pain, Flame Barrier, Uppercut, Wild Strike, we survive the turn. Going for infinites is great. That's not Mimi. That's just strong. Oh yeah, 2 because of Tungsten Rod. Okay, seems like we can probably go now. Wound is getting exhausted, Sentinel's getting exhausted, that's drawing some cards. It is a little Mimi. He's hitting for 16 times 4 potentially. 16 times 4 is 40 plus 24, 64. Okay. Alright. Do your worst. We probably want to pen nib a bludgeon. That seems like a good idea. We are going to True Grit Sentinel at some point. Is it now? Seems like we can block more by just playing Sentinel now than just True Grit something else random. Do we want to... When we True Grit, we'll draw a card. Do we want to draw a bludgeon, or do we want to draw a random card? Random card could be Flame Barrier or Defend, which are both pretty useful. It's 2 Flame Barriers, so 3 hits. Uppercut, actually, also useful. Yeah, infinites that aren't quite infinite are fairly common. It's an easy trap to fall into. Seems like we need every bit of block we can find, so we're gonna play the Sentinel instead of exhausting it. Okay, Wild Strike is not exactly block. And then we'll just play all the attacks. No pen nib trigger this turn, but we are setting one up for soon. Alright, great. It was the big attack. That means it's definitely the multi-attack this turn. It can't not be the multi-attack. Because you can't big attack 3 times in a row either. So it's definitely 16 times 4, which is 64, as previously calculated. Alright. Oh crap, this isn't an infinite. We have Snecko Eye. Duh. What am I even talking about? You can't infinite with Snecko Eye. Randomizes the cost of stuff. We should have drank Cultist Pot a long time ago. Nope, there's no Magic Miranda, I just forgot. I don't think it's legit to restart the fight just because I forgot, so I'm not going to do that. I could, I guess. But it seems like I earned this death if I die. By just being dumb. So Uppercut's always happening, we need to weaken him. We might actually have lethal this turn. Or lethal on the first phase. I mean, we do a fairy, but he could kill us twice here almost. Let's see what this is. Not helpful. Alright, so we should play 2 flame barriers, right? Double flame barrier defend. Hold the pen nib for bludgeon next turn. Alright, there's the fairy. And there's the bludgeon. 2 wild strikes does 50 some, so that's lethal. We can True Grit a strike, and if we manage to draw a 0-cost demon form, we can play it while he's down. Playing the wild strikes first so that we can evolve plus to draw more cards, but no. Okay. Alright, well this is going to be tough. Alright, uppercut weakens him. That seems important. Flame barrier is always happening. Let's do that. Couple of wounds, that's nice. So it's probably like 2 wounds, a demon form, and a flame barrier. Let's see, what is he doing now? It's always Dark Echo. So he's hitting for, what, 50? Yeah, 50. We are blocking for 40. Just off by a little bit. Oh, what? Oh, he was weak. Duh. Okay. I think it's time for True Grit Sentinel. So we're gonna like Wild Strike and then True Grit Sentinel and hope we draw a wound. And then play probably Flame Barrier Bludgeon. Zero cost defend is fine. It's weird how it spins. It spins just like tick, tick, tick. I don't know why it does that. Is Wild Strike better than Bludgeon? 33 versus 59 damage. So we'd be skipping 26 damage to get an extra wound. Wounds are strong. Might be correct. Yeah, it's either Bludgeon or Wild Strike with the Flame Barrier. I mean, I don't know how we survive this fight without wounds, right? We have to be generating lots of wounds, so let's do it. It's the only way to block, right? He plays Void, so those actually make us quite a bit better. Pretty happy with seeing some Voids. Alright, Pen Nib's not close. Thanks for the follow, Dadders7503. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. I appreciate your support. His weak has worn off, so we could like uppercut double status. I guess let's see what's in here. Okay, True Grit for 0 is huge. So we're basically blocking out no matter what. Right? Sorry, what's his max damage? He hasn't done the multi-attack yet, so it's 10 times 3 and he has 10 strength. So it's 60 damage. Yikes. So this blocks for 17. 17 plus 36 is 53. 53 is not quite 60, but it's not far off. We only take 6 damage, or 6 health loss, I should say. So we do like True Grit, Flame Barrier, Bludgeon. Okay. We also get to draw a card. Oh, good point. Uppercut also blocks. Yeah, we don't need to play Flame Barrier. And I like him being vulnerable. I also like playing Bludgeon to just chonk him. Could just play Wild Strike Defend, too. Want to get some extra wounds. No, we actually don't have enough block. He's hitting for 60. Yeah, Wild Strike Bludgeon sounds nice. I think it's Wild Strike Defend if it's Wild Strike. So Defend would block for 58, and then we take 1 health loss, which is fine. Uppercut blocks out. Yeah, Uppercut's great, right? Uppercut develops vulnerable, blocks out. We need to keep the weak up. Okay. Well, there finally we got a 0-cost Wild Strike, so that one's easy. 0-cost Flame Bearer. Everything costs 0 his turn. Snecko has decided to be charitable. We need something to True Grit. Kinda. I guess we could just not. Well, wait, he can still be hitting for... What? How much does he hit for? If it's 20 and he's weak, 20 times 0.75 is obviously 15. Times 460. Wait. I thought it was... Oh yeah, it was 80 if we... We were just dead if he hit for 80 last turn. Yikes. Oh, he only hits for times 3. Sorry, it was less. Okay, so it's 45 is his max damage when he's weak. So we could keep the weak going and block for 30. And then take 14 if he multi-attacks. So it's probably just like True Grit, a strike, double defend. Getting rid of strikes is pretty good anyway. Oh, hold on. Play a little slower. Because we got some wounds coming in. Those block too. We could headbutt something, but there's nothing to headbutt. We could put a defend in there, but why? So I'll just headbutt for damage and pendant. Okay. Was the multi-attack. So that means he can't multi-attack again, right? Nope, it can be. Can't use it 3 times in a row. Bludgeon for 0, nice. Uppercut for 0, nice. I'm noting a conspicuous lack of wounds in hand. I'm not a math guy. Seems like that you probably need to develop that skill to play this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not lethal. Well, it might be actually. Oh no, shit, it is. Bonk. Alright, we'll give it a Wild Strike. Okay. Well, this is probably the easiest one. They do hit for 24 on turn 1. Math is hard, let's go shopping. Indeed. I think that's a sentiment we can all get behind. Alright. It's possible we try to save the cultist spot again. This is by far the easiest boss fight because of the dazes. Very aggressive to try and save it again, though. Might not be right. So we're definitely doing Deca second, because we want those dazes. He is hitting for 24 on turn 1. I am concerned about that. We're definitely playing Evolve and both Feel No Pain, so that leaves us with 1 energy, which doesn't do anything. So then we play the free cards, the 2 Defense and the Wild Strike. Yeah, I think I'm going to give this a Cult Pot. Seems scary. I don't like dying. Alright, Donu's hitting for 30. Spitty, it's impossible to answer that question. For some decks, Time Meter is the easiest. For some it's Awakened One, for some it's Donu Deca. There's no, like, strict answer. I would say Awakened One is usually the easiest one. It's interesting that Pixel Noise disagrees. Donu Deca, like, they scale really fast and they jump on you right away. They're scary. Fiendfire gets rid of 1,000,000 cards here, but we have 2 Flame Barriers, and we're not really having any trouble this turn, so we probably shouldn't do that. He's hitting for 30, so Intimidate or Wound blocks out. I'll go ahead and use Intimidate while it's cost 0. I think I might actually save a wound here. It's probably something that I should have been thinking about doing more in past fights. I know that, yeah, they do stop scaling when you kill Donu. Kinda. They technically keep armor scaling, but usually the fight's over pretty quick after you kill Donu. Yeah, Awakened One is definitely scary. So, like, okay, if you're playing, like, a Frost Orb Defect, then, like, Awakened One is easier, because you just, like, eventually outscale him. But if you're... But, like, Donu Deca, you don't eventually outscale them. Donu scales faster than you. So it's scary to be, like, defensively oriented in this fight. Is diluting the deck with days scaling? I don't know, because it kind of reaches, like, an equilibrium point pretty quickly. I guess you could call it scaling. Alright, we're blocked out, so we just want to spend 4 energy doing damage. I think we're going to skip Fiendfire for now. It's a big defensive resource we can save. Okay. The final Feel No Pain. I think that we might not be playing it here. I think it might be like Wound, True Grit, Flame Barrier this turn. No Dark Embrace, so we're not drawing cards when we play Wounds. Because that Dark Embrace was from this thingy, and curled them. So this blocks for 7, this blocks for 16. It's 23 plus another 12 is 35. He should be hitting for 30 this turn, so it seems fine. Because the game is perfect. No, the game's not perfect, but yeah, I do like to give people like, I want to give people the impression that, like, if you watch the stream, then you will learn things that you can use. And the more different my game is than your game, the less true that experience is. Okay. So we spend all our energy blocking. Alright, now they're hitting for 36, right? It was 15 before, and now they gained 3 armor. So it's 18, yeah, 36. Okay. Impervious blocks out by itself. Can we block out without it? Nope. Yeah, I have Slay the Relics installed on the install that has mods in it, but I haven't been able to get it to work, which is sad. We could just Fiend Fire this hand. I think that blocks out 2. Yeah, can you send me like a DM? Maybe we'll try and figure that out after this. Minty Spire. I feel like Minty Spire adds a lot of garbage stuff, and it's like they're trying to make it more. They're trying to improve the user experience, but they change the colors so wildly that it actually makes it much worse. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards if we played the Fiendfire. We could also just play the Impervious. So 6 cards with 7 per thing is 42. So that's plenty of block. Replay the Spire and the Cursed One. I don't know what those do. But we might as well, I mean, Impervious blocks out by itself, so we might as well save Fiendfire for future turns that we need to block out. We have a Cultist Pot ticking, so it's just a matter of time. We're outscaling them for free. Meow. Huh. Captured. We could play an additional demon form, other than the Cultist Pot. If I were going to add mods, it would probably not be mods that like add a bunch of content. Like I might do those as like a special event and be like, let's play through like the Upside Down one where you play the monsters or something, but you thought the meowing was the cultist impression? Amazing. Nope, that's just an old grumpy kitty. You grumpy? Yeah, you grumpy. Which, to be fair, she has every right to be. Bet you wouldn't like it if your kidneys were shutting down. Okay, so I've lost track of who's attacking. Which is pretty dangerous, because you shouldn't do that. It must be Donu, because... Or it must be Deka, because Donu... They've had 6 strength for... This is the second turn they've had 6 strength. So they're about to get 9 strength, which means Donu is buffing, which means Deka's attacking. Okay. Alright, so they're hitting for 36. We need to block for 36, ideally. We probably should have been removing artifact charges from Deka, because now we can't weaken him. Which is something I would like to do. We can uppercut bludgeon on Donu, which is a hell of a lot of damage. So maybe we just like prevent them from scaling. But that also spends 3 energy and doesn't survive. So that's probably not good enough. Crypto Z, I have a standing desk because I like it. Yeah, it's Deka attacking right now. I figured it out. Trigger it on Sentinel costs net 0, so I could trigger it on Sentinel and then still uppercut bludgeon. Does trigger it on Sentinel actually like survive? Blocks for 9 plus 7, 16. Moo. 16 plus 17 doesn't survive. So we have to play the defend as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm standing at a standing desk, right? I don't even have a sitting desk. This is my only way of working. I guess technically I have a laptop, so I could work on the couch, but... okay. So we have to play this and the defend to survive, which I guess means that we're landing the pen nib on a wild strike. Why do you have a wrap around your hand? So it's for carpal tunnel. Not really like I haven't like been diagnosed with carpal tunnel, but I'm trying to prevent that by easing strain on my little nerve passageways there. That's the goal, at least. We could just play like defend demon form. We should play Wild Strike though. And if we're playing Wild Strike, we should probably play Uppercut so that we can Uppercut Wild Strike and get a pendant proc. Wild Strike's a fine target for Pendib. Yeah, I want to get that lethal, but I can't do it. I have to survive the turn. Okay. Okay. I'm probably going to need to get lethal this turn. We have a Hand of Greed, too. Hand of Greed's hitting for 52. He is at 86. But do you have Hypochondria? No. 86 minus 52 leaves us with a deficit of 32 health. But it's not enough to make that up. Wild Strike is... So we could, like, Wild Strike Hand of Greed to kill him. Seems pretty good. Get that sweet, sweet gold for Act 4. And we need to block again next turn. So I'm going to take the Fiendfire back. Okay. Oh my gosh, this Feel No Pain does not want to get played. Maybe we don't need it. So he's hitting for... he did manage to buff again, so it's more than 36. It's 36 plus 6, which is 42. Sitting for 42. If we play the Feel No Pain and exhaust all the statuses, we block for 11 times the statuses. 1, 2, 3, 4 statuses, so we're blocking for 44. He's only hitting for 42, so that works, so we don't have to spend Fiendfire yet. We could actually save one of the statuses, too, and play Flame Barrier instead. Which seems great. Kind of weird to think about the statuses as a resource, but they definitely are in this deck, so... And let's go ahead and Wild Strike. It doesn't do any damage, but it gives us another wound, which we need. Alright. Not close to another Pendant proc. We do need to remove those artifact charges, so Clothesline is good for that. It also does damage, because, you know, gotta get there. Does actually playing a Daze make it different than just letting it exhaust? No, I could have just let them exhaust, that's true. I play them because if you have Dark Embrace, it makes a difference, but it does not make a difference right now. I think I'm triggering a Strike just to get rid of it. Maybe I trigger the Combust. Combust is not doing much. Strike is hitting for 13, like that's something. But at least Combust like goes away when I play it. I guess technically it makes a difference, yeah. Good point, or Calcum. Although I think we'd already blocked that turn, so it didn't make a difference in that particular circumstance. Oof, only 2 days is left. We're gonna have some trouble blocking next turn. Maybe just the 13 damage. Maybe we're never shuffling again. If we never shuffle again, we definitely want the 13 damage. It's also a plated armor damage. Alright, sold. Demon form costs 0, but it looks like we're dead. Oh wait, Uppercut actually makes him... Oh no, Uppercut does vulnerable second! Oh no! We can't land weak. Oh man. That's brutal. This is always getting played. And then it's probably like Flame Barrier Double Defend. I guess Double Defend is worse than just second Flame Barrier. Which just means we're dead. Yeah, this doesn't block for 42. Well, we didn't shuffle. I was right about that. Took a lot of damage to Awakened One. Trying to do an infinite that doesn't actually work, so that's my bad. I should have just definitely like not played the Dark Embrace and not played the Evolve and taken a way different line on Awakened One. We made a pretty huge mistake in that fight, so that was pretty unfortunate. Just made a misplay in there. Pretty good deck. Definitely was. This deck was like a Act 4 expert. So like I feel like if we would have gotten through these boss fights, we definitely would have won Act 4. Not definitely. Like you can always draw poorly on Act 4, and we still had 4 strikes and 4 defense. So like we definitely could have lost. But I think it was very likely to win Act 4 if we could just get through it. But we didn't. Thanks for the bits, Pixel Noise. Appreciate it.